Hey, hello, hello. Hey, oh my goodness, Andy. Hey, Andy, thanks for the 5 gifted. Tea time, thanks so much for the 5 gifted. Rui, thanks for the gifted. Oh my goodness, everyone, thank you. Passage, thanks for the 4 months. And Monkichi, thanks for the 5 months. Hey, everyone, yes, yes. Got a haircut, I did. Bring this down a little bit, there we go. Okay, yes, I was a little nervous. What do we think? What do we think? It was a little bit of a risk, but 2024 is closing in on us. Shiopi, hey, thanks for the biddies because we can't have any more titties. Rest in peace. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Thanks. Did I get a haircut because of the Twitch Boobo rule revoke? Yeah, it was sort of like a it was sort of like an act of protest, really. So okay, so it's funny. I go to get my haircut, right? And well, one, it was just getting a little long, and well, I'll tell you what starts it. Whenever I visit my mother, she'll like, I don't know about your guys' mothers or fathers, but she'll just fucking like, she'll just lay it on. There's no need for. She's just like, you look fucking awful right now, you know. So my mom was like, you need a fucking haircut. It's time for. Well, see, it's even worse because what she said was, it's time for a haircut. That's the exact wording, right? I think it's time for a haircut, and I'm like, ooh, okay. So, and I you know what? I think she was right, because well, here's the thing. I was rocking this sort of middle parted perm for a while. And first of all, everyone's caught on. Okay, so like when you're an Asian guy, you spawn in with the default buzzed on the sides. You have the default skin haircut, and it's awful. Okay, but eventually you catch on, right? And there's like two routes you can take. Okay, there is like growing it long. That usually meets a middle ground of like a bowl cut, like kind of like the mushroom head. Or what has become like this very safe, very like the highest amount of attraction points versus difficulty is like the middle parted perm. And a lot of people, a lot of content creators, especially Asian guys, they go for that perm. I was an early adopter because in high school, yes, maybe I was a little more concerned with my flair than I should have been. But I've reached a point where I'm trying to double back, because I do think when you look at people, right? What's his name? Daniel Kim, the actor. Who's that guy? He's got the really chiseled face. He's what's his name? He was in that. He's in the show with the doctor, and he's like, I'm a surgeon. Like, who's that Asian guy? What's his name? Well, I feel like actually I'm scared of it. Dr. Han. Yes, it's Dr. Han. Who's that actor's name? Daniel Day Kim. Yeah. So I think like circling back on like an iteration of that default Asian guy haircut actually ends up looking the most handsome, but it's the most difficult to pull off. You know what I mean? So I've always been scared too. It's harder. It is just harder to do. But I risked the biscuit this time around, and it's okay. I'm quite happy with it. I was a little scared. So we're gonna rock this for a while. Fluffy, hey, thanks for the prime. Rowan, thanks for the prime. Thanks, guys. Okay, so you guys heard the news. It's very tragic in light of recent. Oh, and sorry, Stan, I saw that. Thanks so much for the dono. Thanks for the $50. Haircut looks great. Please buy snacks for the boys. Remember to hide them. The snack drawer. Yeah, I'm hosting a I almost said Halloween party. I'm actually hosting a Christmas party tomorrow. A lot of friends are coming over and picking up some people from the airport, or one person from the airport. Some people are flying in, some people are driving in. It's gonna be fun. We're not gonna do anything. We might do a stream on Sunday with some guest stars. Not sure. That's like the tentative plan. But yeah, so thanks, Stan. That'll actually go a long way because I've like decorated and catering and everything, so that actually helps a lot. I appreciate it. Um, okay, yes. So Twitch did revoke their the Booba um permissions. We no longer can draw Booba and or Kaka and or straight up pussy. Because it seems people went a little overboard. Well, so let's break this down. So what happened exactly? So in what people thought was like a momentous, people thought it was like this momentous thing because they were kind of not having consistency in their enforcement of rules when it came to like things skirting on somewhat sexual, right? And so they wanted to like clearly state it. They wanted to make let's see here. I pulled it up because I wanted to that no, that's not it. Where is it? This one? Okay. Here we go. So in response to this, let me move your guys' faces. Get over there in the corner. Okay, so here's the tweet. This is like where it kind of started it all. In response to all these criticisms about people kind of showing too much skin and sort of the backlash of people getting banned and some people not getting banned, and the person who seemingly deserves the ban isn't the one getting it, and it was a lot of confusion. So in an effort to like clarify it, they made this tweet. Okay, and these changes. It was, we've gotten feedback that our policies around sexual content are unclear, so we've drawn clearer boundaries between what is and isn't permitted on Twitch. We also recognize that not everyone wants to see certain content, so we're updating our criteria for homepage recommendations. And this was a couple of days ago. So the timeline is actually like they released this, it was given 1 day, and the very next day they had to take this down. Leonardo, hey, thanks for the 5 months. HD, thanks for the 10 months. Good to see you. Nomi, thanks for the gifted. Okay, so they, and we showed this. We talked about this when I drew Rouge the Bat's big fat bat titties. They updated their approach to sexual content and content classification levels. Basically, what this outlines is as long as it's not very explicitly not safe for work. Basically, they're saying as long as it doesn't near, how do I say this? If it's not borderline porn or straight up porn, it would be allowed. Basically, the word that they were throwing around and everyone has been throwing around is artistic. What did they say? Artistic representation of nudity. As long as it was deemed to be like an artistic representation, artistic nudity, it would be okay. Basically, just having like a naked body, just showing genitalia, would be permitted as long as it wasn't very explicitly sexual in nature. And so people, myself included, started to draw things. If you saw, I drew Rouge the Bats, big fat honkers, big fat biddies. And it was awesome. It was amazing. But I think the problem is that some people just took it way too far. They were drawing just straight up. I mean, I saw this. And we talked about it before. Like, I just saw just the most erect penises being drawn. And they were so, just the rendering on this, very talented people. But I was seeing such vigor in these penises that people were drawing. They were so, I could feel like heat emanating. I could feel the musk emanating from my screen when I was watching these. Just from the little thumbnail preview of this stream, I could feel the heat. So basically, people took it too far, and I think one thing people have been seeing, or some people have been estimating, that it's due to like, well, this is dangerous. I think they're VTubers have been getting a lot of heat, but I think they're kind of serving as like a scapegoat. People are, the mainstream kind of has always had a problem with VTubers for some reason. They always had a bone to pick. I don't think it's like solely mainly the VTubers' fault, which I think that's the sentiment I feel I'm seeing from a lot of people. I think there's a lot. I've been seeing streams where it's just everyone in general kind of pushed it too far. Not me. Mine was tasteful and artistic. I drew Rouge the Bat in a very tasteful, non-sexually explicit way, just showing her big fat bitties, which is no problem. Anyways, but there were some VTubers that were kind of showing themselves, showing their booba, and I think explicitly these guidelines were talking about, hey, you can't show like yourself, you can't show like your model, your person. Represent it like yourself and like portray that sexually, and that's what people did. I don't know if they really. Okay, so let's go on. Literally a day later, they made an update. Let's see. Twitch says we're making some additional updates to our sexual content policy. We realized that our earlier update caused confusion and appreciate all the feedback we've received. It didn't cause confusion. People were just dumb. There's no confusion. Like when I did my stream, I didn't even really do that much due diligence. If I'm being completely honest, when I was going to draw Rouge the Bat's big honkers, I didn't read like every single thing, but I'll be honest, just a very quick glancing over, they were very clear on what you could and could not draw. And so I was like, oh, okay, I can't draw like two people performing coitus, or it can't be like overtly sexual. And that's why in that stream, guys, I remember I said to you, I literally said, I don't think I can draw like an erect penis because it seems more sexual than just drawing like booba and even like an exposed vagina, right? So that was very clear. So people were either acting just maliciously, they just like, I don't give a fuck. Everyone's doing it. I'm gonna do it. Or they just didn't even think about it for 5 seconds. Either way is bad. I don't know which one's worse actually, because one's being like malicious and the other one's just being like so fucking dumb. I don't know which is a worse outlook for the world in general. But that being said, they made this sexual content policy update, which is basically saying, guys, this was not for you to draw straight up like hentai on stream. That is not what this was for. And they basically revoked the fun stuff. I think you can still twerk. Yeah. Moving forward, right here. So effective today, we are rolling back the artistic nudity changes. Moving forward, depictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch, regardless of medium. This restriction does not apply to mature rated games. I see. So if there's tits in GTA 6, then that's going to be fine. So we lost it all. We lost it all. This is a monumental loss for us all. I did want to kind of have like a follow-up because ironically enough, I took that session of ours and I uploaded it to YouTube. Well, right, let me see if I can show this. Right, where's this? Right here. This is my second channel, by the way. So we uploaded this video, which is titled "Twitch actually allowed me to stream this." It's censored, obviously. The uncensored version will live on somewhere. Perhaps you will gain access to it in some point in the future. But it was just funny because that video went to upload today, in the morning, and I set it to upload. Oh, that just reminds me. I need to. Okay, I need to send the payment to my editor. I'm gonna message him right now. I told him I would do it right when I got home. Okay, hold on.
Okay. Hey, at least I remembered. But well, I thought we were doing like something amazing because Noxris is the amazing editor who worked on this one. We got it out quick because I was like, oh yeah, we can get this out, be really topical and hit the ground running. But ironically, I was asleep when this video was released, and then I wake up and I went to like, oh, let's go see. I want to read some comments on the video or something, and then the first thing I see, I open up Twitter and it's like, they rolled back the changes. No more booba. It's even more topical now. Oh, it's a shame. I do think it is unfortunate. I think that I wanted to start with this discussion because I guess that's the thing. I think there is a discussion to be had about like not safe for work artists. This has constantly been like in the back of everyone's head, right? Like people who draw porn, people who, for my discussion in like the, I drew Rouge the Bat, so I'm not talking about sex workers. In what I'm thinking of is like, oh, I guess it applies nowadays, but like when I think of something like Tumblr, the Tumblr exodus, and where all the not safe for work artists were kind of pushed off, like I guess there were sex workers involved, but it was mainly like, I'm thinking more about artists in the discussion. So all the artists who do like adult content, it's always been like a struggle for them, right? They're always getting pushed off of platforms and never given a space. And this was like a really good win, I feel, for a lot of artists and creators. But it's just such a shame when it comes to that sphere. There's always like bad actors or idiots. I don't know which again, I don't know which one's worse. And it's just such a shame because it's just kind of ruined for everyone. I mean, me, like, art is not really my main sort of avenue, and I'll kind of go on and think back on this as like, oh, that was like a fun thing. I got to draw Rouge the Bat's big fat fucking milkers one stream. But for some people, like, this could have been life-changing. This could have been huge. This could have like really been what they needed for their careers, for their business. And I think like for example, as long as you're not doing it maliciously, right? I think a lot of flack some of these like booba streamers have gotten is that they are trying to like take advantage of a space where they have less competition, and they're trying to prey on like a younger audience, right? But I thought this was great because this was a way to not have that problem, right? Like if, for example, I was an adult artist, if I was an adult artist and I can label my stream clearly, if I could label the stream clearly, not have to worry about like I guess two groups of people, either like children or like adults who don't want to see that kind of content. You could label the stream. The stream could be, I don't know exactly how it would be showed. That is one problem. The streams were just everywhere on like a first click away. It wasn't like a section where you couldn't like reach. Then I think it would be great. Like they could advertise themselves. They can like showcase themselves. Again, as long as it's not like in a sort of tricking sort of way. If they're very clear, like, hey, I'm an adult artist. My content is only for adults. This is like work that I'm drawing. And this is like a platform for me. That wasn't, again, that's not what it was. That approach is not really what the update was to begin with. It was, again, artistic depiction. So that scenario is not really was the case to begin with. That would be nice. I think that kind of scenario would be, I don't know. I just don't really see a problem with it if the right restrictions and parameters were involved. It's like the artist could make money, the platform can make money, the artist can grow, the platform can grow. Like I think it'd just be good for everyone. And
in my opinion, it seems like such an easy do. Like it things in life that are like the biggest shame. It's when you feel like it could have been easily avoided and or the fix could have been simple, right? So this whole debacle with Twitch taking back, it's just such a shame because it just felt like we had a really great thing and it could have been great for so many people. And it just kind of fell through. So it really sucks. I mean, again, I'll move on. But it's just a shame because hey, I like my booba art and or kaka art. I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing. There is a discussion of like, I think a lot of people are kind of acting disingenuous when you see these arguments and fighting on Twitter. When you see someone saying like, let's protect the kids. When I see that kind of statement, and not to get too political, but you can draw that and apply that to way more avenues of life, right? Like you see this sentiment, protect the kids, right? Like it's disingenuous. They don't give a fuck about the kids. But irregardless of that, dude, when I was a fucking kid, a little nipple shown on a stream was the least fucking crazy thing I fucking saw. You pussies. Like, dude, these kids, if they are able to like get onto Twitch, if they know what Twitch is, and they're able to get onto Twitch, they're watching a lot more fucked up shit. I guarantee you. So like, forget artistic depictions of nudity. Let's say you can even go into like slightly more bordering on like sexual content. That is still nowhere near. Little fucking Billy scrolls Twitter and he's gonna fucking watch some girl get her fucking ass clapped by 5 dudes. And these parents and people that are afraid, that little Billy's doing that every other fucking night. I guarantee you. I fucking guarantee you. Dude, because I mean, things have only gotten more advanced. The people have progressed way farther. Because the worst thing I could have seen when I was a kid is like Sakura getting fucking quintuplet teamed by like Naruto clones, right? But these days, the shit Billy sees, it's not even like, the only real way to stop it is Billy should not have access to the internet, period, honestly. If you're gonna go that route of like quote unquote protect the kids, that's the only option. But if these parents either need to take the step to say, oh, little Billy can't go on the internet, they can't be blaming the other people. Because also, okay, so there's like this whole sentiment, protect the kids, blah blah blah. I have a different, so there's like a discussion to be had, an argument to be had about how that is kind of disingenuous, or like little Billy can't really be protected, and or rather little Billy is seeing much worse things. There's also a camp of thinking that I'm in, and maybe you might be in this camp also. How about fuck the kids? Like, fuck them. I don't give a shit about the kids. I don't care if they get all fucked up and like fucked up in the head. That's their fucking problem. What about us? Like, if it makes it more fun for the rest of us, fuck them. I don't give a shit. This little kid's probably gonna grow up to be a little fucking asshole anyways. Perhaps a racist. I don't know. Fuck the kids. I don't give a fuck. How about that? I want to have fun with my other consenting adults online in spaces where clearly not aimed for children. That's the other thing. Twitch, it's not Baby Shark YouTube. You go onto a stream and there's some dude bro gamer yelling, "I'm gonna rape you! Get fucked!" And just being just the most terrible people imaginable, you know? And is that really better than like some person drawing some booba? Some of these streamers are like awful hubs of like morality and whatnot, right? So, right? Like, who cares? That's the thing, the hot tub category. Oh, the hot tub. Dude, and I mean the hot tub stuff goes way back, right? Like, is this really what we want Twitch to? Are you fucking kidding me? That it's you guys are pussies. What are you? Amish? Like, have you not had the internet? My day starts by seeing hardcore Futanari Overwatch. Little fucking Tracer getting stretched from the east coast to the west coast of the entire continental United States. And then I see like Amaranth in a swimsuit. Doesn't even fucking make a single brain cell of mine, a single synapse fire. Like, it's not the hot tub shit. Even that I feel was like not that fucking bad. Anyways, Dreamy, thanks for the dono. Thanks for the $30. So I guess in conclusion, what I'm saying is, give us back the booba. Let us draw our booba. Tell the kids to fuck off, or their parents to do a better job. Nomi, hey, thanks for the gift. Wise Wizard, thanks for 4 months. I don't know. Adult spaces can't and shouldn't cater to kids, just like how adults should regulate themselves in kid spaces. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like I said, this isn't like Baby Shark YouTube. It's Twitch. And like I said, just the toxicity that you'll see in like an average Dubro gamer stream is just far beyond. I guess this has been sort of like an argument and discussion in just the culture in general. Even, you know, forget Twitch and gaming. There's been like, at least in the West, in America, the demonization of like sexual content versus like, oh, but I can see a guy getting his head chopped off, chainsawed, his guts splayed out all across the floor, or like just that kind of stuff is okay, right? So, I mean, this has been a discussion outright for a while. So it's just a shame that it's just another battle lost for Team Booba. So I don't know. I can't imagine we get a second chance here. I just don't see that really happening. So it's just a shame. Just a shame. I would have gladly drawn more big fat honkin' biddies. Unfortunately. Well, see, you know what would be funny, and this is what I imagine. If you don't know, Emmett Shear was the previous CEO of Twitch, and he left Twitch, and the person who came in after him was a man named Dan Clancy, and you might have seen this gentleman. You know what? I'll look it up right now. Okay, so this is Daniel Clancy. He is currently the Twitch CEO, recently taken over. And I guess the sentiment about him is that he's kind of like, quote unquote, cool. He's like a cool guy. I saw him when I went to TwitchCon, and he's been a little like more well received than the previous CEO. This is him right here, Daniel Clancy. He streams music sometimes, and so what I think, actually, in light of this whole, and if you see here, sorry, that's my Morty stream page. Ignore that. If you see here, this is written by Dan Clancy here, the sexual content policy update. So what I like to imagine that the first move to allow Booba is just Dan Clancy being a freak. What if Dan Clancy was just like, I want to see some goddamn tits, and the other people, business people like at Amazon or Twitch are like, we're not certain. He's like, nah, let's see some goddamn tits. And I like to imagine that all this happens, and maybe there's some fallout or something, and they're in a boardroom. They're like, Dan, we can't, Mr. Clancy, we can't We can't continue this. And I like to imagine he's just like, God damn it. Damn it. Okay. But it's a shame. I would have liked to have more Booba. I had fun drawing it. I'll be honest, I have drawn Booba. Yes, it's true. I've drawn Booba before. But never have I thought about there's always a meme, right? It's just like, oh well, why don't, like if you're an artist, it's always come down to like, oh well, just draw porn, right? First of all, it's not that simple. That or like quote unquote furry artists they make a lot of money, right? You always hear memes like this. That being said, I gave that a shot and I was like, I don't know. Maybe we have a completely different avenue for what I thought my content career could be. You did good. Hey, thanks. No. Or maybe I already am. You'll never know. But yeah, it just sucks. I guess that's all I really have to say about that. People just went way too ham. They went way too ham on everything. Unfortunate. Oh, yes, my haircut. Hold on. I'm literally I need to pay my editor. I want to do it right now so I don't forget. Give me a second. Okay. I didn't actually look that much in the art tab when all this Fallout was happening. I only looked through very early, right before I did my stream yesterday. How bad was it? What was the worst thing you guys saw, if you saw anything? I guess the worst thing I saw was there was this furry artist, and it was like very muscular furry, and his fucking cock was, like I said earlier, his cock was like so just like I could feel heat emanating from my screen, and the balls were like very low and like resting on the ground. That was pretty. It was pretty pretty hot. Very hard to look at. Okay, so my haircut, it's a dub. Could be worse. Definitely dub. I'm glad. No, I didn't cut my own hair. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, can you imagine? All right, but the question is, does it make me look like, what is the change in vibe? Do I seem like older? Does it make me look younger? Is it better, or is the old haircut better? You look younger, really? Oh, I'm seeing mixed. Better than before. Well, it's not a fair comparison because right before it was like way grown out. You know, I guess it's being compared to like when it was more fresh because you let this grow and maybe it'll start looking worse. You know what I mean? You look like young Sheldon. Take that back. That's not true, right? Bazinga. Anyways, Okay, so well, I forgot my story. So I went to get a haircut. Um, and I wanted like a more clean cut look. So I Google searched Asian male or Asian man comb over, right? I guess it's like a comb over. I don't really know. I just wanted like this more classic. I don't know what you call it, more professional like thing. And so I that's what I Googled, and I just looked at random photos, and I show my hairdresser this photo, and I was thinking something like this. Also, it's like I showed him like this picture, but I was like this, and I was like and then they were like laughing, and then I was like, what's so funny? And they were like, do you know who that is? And I was like, no, I just Google searched, and they're like, that's like one of the K-pop idols from Super Junior. And I was like, oh fuck, that now that, because that's embarrassing, because that now that's kind of cringe to do that. It's like one step away from going in and showing them a picture of like Goku and be like, give me that. Hey Day, thanks for the raid. But that was a little funny. I just had no idea. Well, because it's a little embarrassing, because the hairdresser's like, oh, this little guy likes K-pop. He wants to look like, he wants to. Yeah, I just. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so we're gonna hop in and just chat with Randon here soon. We might just boot up some Stardew, just chat. I think we want to chat a little bit about. I haven't talked to him since this whole BOOBA arc, but I wanted to show a lecture. Actually, it's been a while. A live lecture. Have you guys respond and react to it in live time? I missed that, and we don't do them live anymore. But I really miss having the interaction with you guys and having like your guys' chat in there. So what we're going to do is actually show my next lecture. So this is just a completely new lecture that is coming up later this month, but it hasn't been shown, period. So we're going to play it. Feel free to be proper students. I don't want you acting up, okay? I want you to just sit in class and behave yourself, okay? All right? Feel free to respond as you would in a normal class setting. Okay? All right. We're going to go ahead and show it.
Hello students, welcome to class. My name is Professor Lando, and today we're talking about three things. Girl failures,
Oh, wait. Whoops. Sorry, I clicked off. My bad. Okay, here it is.
Hello students, welcome to class. My name is Professor Lando, and today we're talking about three things. Girl failures, thinly veiled homosexuality, and centaurs. Let's start with the first though, girl failures. So what exactly is a girl failure? Okay, so what we have here are three examples of girl failures. Here we have Pomni from the amazing Digital Circus, Bocce the Rock, and Komeni from Chainsaw Man. We have a sense of dread coming from these faces, in the eyes, a sort of primal fear, right? And the quivering lips, shaking, perhaps some drool coming out, conveying the sense of indecisiveness, perhaps fear, largely so. And that fear is also demonstrated by that look in the eyes, again, on the verge of tears. The face here is important because we are social creatures. We look at each other and we look at the face, we look at the facial expressions to determine whether this person is friendly, whether this person is dangerous. And this is embedded in our DNA. When we were primitive creatures, we were using facial expressions to communicate. If we were just apes, we would go, we would use our face, show our teeth, we would communicate that way. And not much has changed, because what is this communicating to you? Fear, anxiety, uselessness, on the verge of mental collapse. And that's the key with girl failures here, not full mental collapse, not complete
lunacy. They're not quite being checked in to Arkham Asylum just yet, but just on the verge, a hairline away. Bochi here might be fully there, but Kobeni, some humanity left trying to, I don't know what exactly, but it's that fear that really separates girl failures from other types of characters. Now you might be asking, well, Professor, you've outlined quite pathetic traits so far. I don't know how this connects with being popular, with being well-liked. Why are these characters, despite their seemingly patheticness, why are they so popular? Well, let's first take a look at a formal definition of girl failures. I believe the term girl failure has its origins, like many other words and terms, from Tumblr, but its popularization comes in the form of a tweet. This tweet is coming from Rory at X-Force Apologist. Enough girl bosses. I need girl failures. Just an absolute loser of a female character. More women who suck. Me too, buddy. Looking back at our examples, they are nervous. They are unable to cope with their situations. They're unable to make decisive decisions. They break down. They run away. They are failures. But why? Absolute losers. Why are these characters so popular? In understanding girl failures, let's take a look at another word, very much a Tumblr-esque word similar in line with girl failures, the baby girl. Now, the baby girl is, quote, a term of endearment used to describe attractive or cute men, including fictional characters from various fandoms in an infantilizing way. Why then? Why do people like these characters? Okay, this is a graph of birth rates in the United States from 1950 to 2023, and this data is coming from the United Nations World Population Prospects. So what can we see here? Well, an obvious decline. I don't think you need graphs to know that people in general are having less kids, or rather, no kids at all. So what does this data tell us about girl failures and their popularization? Well, I have a theory. We are not convinced of the sort of traditional outlook on family any longer. People are just simply not having kids. But we're only human, and humans are driven by the same natural instincts that our primitive ancestors were driven by. Australopithecus, Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. Yes, we are animalistic, primitive beings driven by our instincts. And I think if you look in the biological world, one of these instincts is to breed. I spent so much time drawing that picture of Pedro Pascal, I can't even remember my point. Girl failure. Example, Pomni from the amazing digital circus, the indie YouTube animation. Baby girl. Example, Pedro Pascal, the Chilean-American actor rising to prominence for his role as Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. What do these two people have in common? Well, the conclusion that I'm drawing here, class, is that we have created girl failures, baby girls, and have taken various people and characters and categorized them, deemed them as so, because we as humans, as animals, have this latent desire to breed, to have children, and to take care of said children. But we're smarter than that. There's a lot of reasons, economic, cultural, that keeps us, that makes us say, no, I don't want to have children. But I think that that biological trigger, that desire to breed that's in us all, bubbles over. And it portrays itself, it comes to fruition in this displacement of wanting to take care of these characters in place of actual children. Okay, class, girl failures will be on the exam, so please make sure to study up on that. The next thing we're going to be talking about today, the cosplay paradox. Now, this is a hypothetical thought experiment of my own design, but I think there's some very key information that is of significance to us. Imagine your bro, your friend, just a dude. And for the sake of this model, we have a gauge, a level of attraction, 0 to 10. 0 being absolutely no attraction, and 10 being very, very, very attracted. Let's say you have your bro and you ask him to wear a cosplay. For the sake of this model, let's say it's an Astolfo cosplay. And now your bro is wearing the Astolfo cosplay. Now, that's not your bro, that's Astolfo. And now if we take a look at the attraction here, I would say definitely markedly more. Without a shadow of a doubt, if you take your bro, who you're not attracted to in any degree, a 0, and they wear an Astolfo cosplay, that number is going to go up. Now, we might argue on what degree it's going to go up, but let's settle on a middling value. Let's just say my attraction now to this Astolfo cosplay is a 5. Now, this is where the conundrum takes place. This is where the paradox occurs. Let's say that your bro, this Astolfo cosplayer, removes part of the cosplay, undresses, but still retain remnants of the original cosplay. You would now see an undressed Astolfo, which, if we take a look at attraction, markedly increased, let's say, to a 9. Hell, let's just say a 9.5 for sake of argument here. A naked Astolfo is markedly more attractive. But this is where the paradox comes into play. Somehow less cosplay, because there is no longer any clothing except for the thigh highs, the stock. We got to keep the thigh high. But here's the conundrum. Based on the trends that we're seeing here, you would say that the less cosplay that is worn by the Astolfo, the more attractive it is. But there is a critical point, a turning point. Upon removing the final articles of the cosplay, that's just your bro. That's just your bro and he's naked. All of a sudden, it's gay. Okay, students, so I wanted to talk about one last thing here. Recently, something's come up in the intellectual discussion, and it involves the topic of centaurs, which is something that we've discussed at length here. But the controversy is recently there has been a new addition to the archive and collection of centaurs, and that is this. What you see here, I know, calm down. We will discuss it, calm down. This is Centaur Minerva, this character from the idle RPG called the Book of Yugioh. So first things first, what do we have here? What exactly is the controversy? And I think obviously here we can see what is missing, and that is, or rather what isn't missing, there is skin where should be hair. A horse's hair, to be exact. There is no horse bottom. If you see here, the bottom half has the shape, has the form of a centaur, but upon inspection, we see skin. And so let's break down exactly what is causing such a visceral reaction here. Let me draw a diagram. Okay, so what we have pictured here is a simplistic diagram of what is generally known to be a centaur. So the problem with this Centaur Minerva, or should I say Centaur Minerva, is that the bottom half, starting from around waist, generally waist is what we see from most centaurs, the bottom half of this centaur is flesh. We see flesh, implying that it is of human origins and simply in the form of a centaur. Okay, so what we have here is a model with multiple examples to see if we can narrow down a formal definition of what is a centaur and what should not be a centaur. So let's take a look at these one by one. First up, we have the Minerva case with the recent controversy. This is human plus human makes human flesh centaur. And I think we found out real quickly that that does not work. Having the flesh color uniform does not inspire confidence in that type of centaur. So this is not a centaur. Next up, we have human plus horse equals what? Yes, the classical centaur. And I think we all know that that works. This classical model, half human, half horse, works perfectly for centaurs, but only in this ratio. If you flipped it, as you found out in one of my previous lectures, with top horse, bottom human, that doesn't work as well. Well, so here we have horse plus horse is illegal. That's illegal. So that doesn't work. It's sort of a contradictory model here. Human plus human, wrong. Horse plus horse, wrong. But human horse, good? There's something here. Let's take a look at these other examples to see. Here we have, taking this one a step further, human, human, and human again, a third human. That is the human centipede. Wrong. Perhaps human plus human is just an extension, or rather the preceding version, of human centipede. And that's why when we see the flesh-colored consistency, uniformity of the Minerva character from the game book of Yugioh, that's why people are having such a negative emotion. Anything that even remotely resembles a human centipede situation is going to be frowned upon. Here we have cat plus dog equals cat dog. This is the character from the popular children's show of the same name, Cat Dog. When we look at this, they are conscious beings. However, I am thinking this is not really a centaur. However, in the next example, we have half a human and another half a human, and you get the mannequin doll monster from Silent Hill, which is just two bottom halves of a mannequin put together. And I think that's fucking so good. I like that. That's good. That works for me. And you might think that that is sick, that is twisted, but think about this. Half human, half human. When you add half a human and half human together, that's just one human. And I think it's perfectly normal to be attracted to a human, a singular human. So that is sort of like an a squared plus b squared equals c squared situation. There is no difference from this scenario, the Silent Hill mannequin scenario, than just dating a singular person. So what conclusion do we really draw is you don't want to push the boundaries too far. That's how we get a human centipede situation. That's how we get a cat dog situation. That's how we go to jail. In some states, or all states, probably all states. If you happen to know a state that's not, feel free to message me so that I can, for reference, so I can update this lecture going forward. So please reach out.
Okay, it's been a long time since I saw your guys' reaction to a lecture. So that was that's fun. It takes me back. I'm sick? No. I'm enlightened. That's what I am. Horse Appreciator, thank you for the 3 months. Thank you so much. Let's call Randon. Okay, we're moving into our next portion. I don't know what we're going to do exactly. See if he answers. Yellow?
Okay, you're muted.
Oh,
Twitch.
okay.
I can hear you. All right, I'm good.
I had you lowered from Lethal Company.
Because I was clipping the audio from my screams. Yeah.
All right. It feels like it's been an eon.
I know, right? But I feel like we've been chatting like the whole time. I think like we're both busy. We don't have like a voice chat going on. But
okay, so all right, this is the Andon portion. I thought we were texting earlier.
This is a video.
Oh yeah, you liked it, dude. It's a renaissance for Professor Lando right now. It's been a while since we had like such a good one. I felt pretty good about it.
I am absolutely fixated on the concept of a fail. What is it?
Girl failure?
No. A baby failure. Just imagine it like a quadrant, right? And then there's a girl, and there's a baby failure too. Tell me more about that. Like, what the fuck is up there?
Baby failure? That's just a little baby.
I was like struggling to think of like how do you fail to be a baby, right?
That's literally what a baby is. Well, I think compared to babies of other species, our babies are especially failure-y.
You were talking about how like the thing about the girl failure is that they're like panicking, they're useless, right?
Yeah.
That's like the standard feature of like, you know, of like a made in the
woman?
USA baby, right?
Oh.
Like, oh my god!
I'm just joking. Well, that's the original concept of the video was going to be trying to like the joke, the punchline was originally going to be like that's just what a girl is. It was supposed to be like a redundancy, like a girl failure is like it's a weird contradictory. Anyways. Oh my gosh, Kay, thank you for 6-month subscription. That's insane. Thank you. Okay, Randon, do you have any? I'm sure you talking about on your stream. What are your thoughts on Twitch allowing BOOBA and then yanking it back?
We have so much overlap. I think that the thing that I zeroed in on, like them allowing it was like, okay, them like disallowing it. I was like, okay. I kind of like I half expected that. That didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It was the speed at which they walked it. They didn't walk it back. They were like Usain Bolt sprinting it back, right?
Yeah. I mean, understandably so. That's the thing. Like, you can't get mad at them because, like I said, I saw the most graphic penises. I told you. I was saying I could feel the heat emanating through the screen. I swear I could smell the musk coming through the screen.
I think what they should have done is like, I know I saw it too, and I was flabbergasted, right? Like my mouth was on the floor. I was just like, what?
You were also surprised.
Oh, I was so surprised, you know, and I was just like, you know, well, what's going on here? I need to, you know, what's going on here? But I digress. I think what they could have done is they could have hired a couple lawyers and they could have made it like airtight, the updated TOS, instead of like adding so much like vagary, like artistic. It's like everything is art, right? Like I could shit on the floor and like I could say it's art, right?
I think, I mean, I guess it's always better just to be like as clear as you possibly can.
Yes.
That being said, you had to be a kind of a dum-dum not to read in between the lines and know what they were talking about, I feel.
Yeah,
I think that it was very obvious that they were saying like, okay, in my head, I imagine like a pinup, basically, right? Like it can't be more than like what you would see like a pinup girl would be. Not like, so like in a magazine, right? Like a Playboy or something. Like you wouldn't see this big jacked furry dude with his fucking cock and his balls drooping. It's like on the no.
You know, you were talking about the art that you saw. The next time we meet up and hang out together, I'm gonna show you my Twitter feed. I see some. It's in there. It's like wow, like a balls in the wheelbarrow, right? Big old floppy, like bigger than the
it was
body,
like that,
and the body.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances a small body. That's a thick boy. And, you know,
it's like that episode of South Park like where he microwaves his ball sack and he's carrying it. He's carrying it in the wheelbarrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you see my art?
I did. The tasteful bush.
Did you? What did you think of my art?
I thought the BOOBA were like, you know, it looks like you know, like. It frankly looks like a French cartoon from like the 1980s. Like the BOOBA are out there, and they're like, yes, and right. The bush, I think, was the closest thing to it being like erotic, in my opinion.
It's skeets or skirts that line perfectly.
Yes.
It's just
like,
it's the little it because there's nothing happening. It's just bush, but it's like just the. Truth be told. Little bush, why not?
You know, yeah.
And there's something because it's kind of counterintuitive. You think like getting all smooth and shaved, that's like super sexual and whatever. That's like in the movie stuff. But there's something even more sexual having the bush in a weird subversive way.
I agree,
you know?
100%.
It's
I agree,
like
100%.
some kind of like, it's more of like a natural it's like kind of primal, you know, like kind of almost because it's maybe seen as maybe like not taboo, but you know, it's kind of like you want to be seen shaven and clean, so there's some sort of weird subversive shame. It's kind of hot in a way.
I thought it was like particularly brilliant because it was like a line art illustration, right? So it's like black and white, and the bush is there. And if like Dan Twitch came up to you with the stick, right, and he's about to like bonk you with it, you could be like, whoa, that's a leaf, hold on,
right?
And then you get the paint bucket and you green out that bush, and then suddenly it's the Venus de Milo, right? And it's like, it's art, it's art. What do you want from me, right?
We should start a channel specifically on like Pornhub or something, or on like its own series on like a third-party like crowdfunding website like Patreon, for example, where we wear suits and drink wine and we like rate like porn and hentai like a dog show or something.
All right. We could go like one further, right? What if have you seen the edited Germa video of like Germa in like a dog show, and he's like, there's like an owner and he's like running alongside him and he's running like an obstacle course? No, he's clearly edited because he's dying. Well, yeah, you know. You know, like the athletics portion of a dog show where they're like running through like an obstacle course.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with like varying, like it's just like a full like hentai episode, right? Like in tiny, you know, it's like hopping across, and then like, so if you're there to like, you know, watch it, it's like we're like sportscasting it, you know, like it's a freaking dog show.
Oh, but overall, very disappointed with the result of everything.
I think one thing that they could have done, and it would have taken a longer time for it to take effect, because I think they could have just been like, they could have just like started to not enforce it with art streams and only art streams, right? And then artists would like over the course of like a year, 2 years would be like, oh, they don't like enforce that anymore. They never like released any statement. It's just like they stopped. Like if there's titty on an art stream and it's animated, you know, it's like they're not going to ban you for that. And like people would pick up on it, and then they wouldn't need to. And then they also have like the plausible deniability if they need to like drop the hammer again, right? Because it's like they never there's nothing to walk back. Like they never allowed it. But I think I do firmly think that like, is it weird that I delineate 2D and 3D nudity? I do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think 2D is like less. I mean, like it's, unless you're like doing like weird AI shit, like, and you're like, you know, you're drawing it yourself. It's like inherently like, how could that not be art if you're drawing it, right? I don't know.
Right. Because it's like, it's artistic nudity. It's like, who are you to say that this is not my art? Because like I create to inspire, to elicit a feeling, to, you know, to I train my art. It's because, you know, but then that being said, there's like the opposite, which I always understand the bad actor, right? Because then it's like, this is art, right?
Yeah.
Like people will say, no, this is art. This is my art, you know? And so I get it. It's just such a shame. And I think, like you said, it's a shame how quickly it was like, because the post earlier, I don't know if you were watching when I brought it up, it's like December 13th, and then a day happens, and then the next it's December 15th.
I know exactly. I know exactly why that happened. Like I can give you like my corporate, you know, like white collar expertise. Like I understand exactly like what went down. And so, like you said, Dan Twitch was like, what if we just had a little bit of titty out there? And they're like, sir, I don't know if that's a good idea. And so let's just try it, you know? Why
don't we just have like a little bit of tits?
Just a little bit of titty!
Like, Mr. Clancy, I don't know. I won't, come on!
Yeah, because he's just like crazy looking. He looks like a Florida man, right? Yeah, so I do think Twitch has a bad rap for like basically doing nothing, right? And like that was a bold move, right?
You can respect it. You can respect it, yeah.
I think Mickey fucking Mouse is like, I don't know, he's like advertising the Marvel movie or whatever, Captain Marvel or whatever, right? And Mickey fucking Mouse threatened to skull fuck Dan Twitch. You know, he's like, I'll fucking skull fuck you if you don't like get back in line. I'm not gonna like advertise next to a big floppy wiener. and then he's like, okay, all right, like we'll walk it back, right?
Well, December 13th, the post goes up allowing these changes. December 14th, stuff ensues, and December 15th, they walk it back. Honestly,
I guarantee you, it was probably Disney.
Well,
like,
what I think happened is on December 14th, everyone at Twitch was fucking jerking off. And then the next day, they're like, oh, okay, wait, actually, hold on. I have a little bit of post-nut clarity. Wait, what the fuck are we doing?
You're talking about like Twitch employees, not like Twitch users.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think about that.
Okay, so imagine the business setting. Like, yes, like, because I know, because you worked in like a, what do you call this, like white collar professional setting, right? I've worked in like a government setting, in like a professional setting, and you know, there's always like this G-man mythicism, but every single person is just like a person, like you and me. And, and
absolutely.
You know how it is, because like looking in on the DMV worker, or I'm sure looking in on like you when you worked there, or someone would look at me when I worked for the government, it would be like, oh, they're kind of drones, and you imagine this situation with Twitch, you imagine them going like, okay, this was not exactly, but the reality of it, you know, that day, the Twitch people were like in the offices going like, holy shit, look at this cock. Dude, look at this fucking, look at this fucking, I know what tomorrow, like, I get it, but you know, they were like, they had to be people kind of enjoying it. Maybe not in a sexual way, but just like, oh, LOL, look at this like thing unfolding in front of us. Surely.
I agree. I think whether they were like, you know, whether they dropped trout, whether they were like, you know what I'm talking about? That meme where it's like, and then unzips, you know, like the like the resigned fap. Like, I don't know if they have the guts to do that in like Amazon HQ, but I think, I mean, it was a nice little morale boost, I imagine, right? Like you go in, you do your 8 to 5, and you know.
I guess it's like it's just the danger of these companies, because like I said, I you know, I guess it's foolish to think we can live in this like an ideal scenario, but like we've talked, companies, the folly of a lot of companies is they start to like grow, and I guess people in general too. It's always failure if you're not making more money and growing, right? The company, we had a discussion once, and you're like, the folly of a lot of these companies is that they stop doing what they're good at because it's time to make more money, because there is some sort of ceiling associated with that model, right? And I think like having the adult art on Twitch and involving more people, and it's like it benefits both sides, right? But like you said, you know, Mr. Mouse comes and he's like, no, you can't have fucking big ass fucking furry cock on your fucking platform, Dan Clancy. And he's like, okay, and they pull out the basically advertisers, right? But as a platform, it's like someone subs to your fucking channel, they get a cut, and most of the times it's 50% of that, and you get 50%. Is that not the model? Why is it always like, again, that might be totally ignorant of like, I don't know, server costs and all that, blah, 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 blah. But why are they so beholden? Like, they're making a step to make, I think, the overall experience, maybe not necessarily worse, but it could be better, right? Could be better for both sides and better for artists and whatever, because of some like, well, we need to be the megacorp. We need to be that big building in Lethal Company that takes all your shit at the end of it. Like, we need to build to that. We can't, like, you know, it just sucks. But also, I get it.
There's a gajillion different ways they could have handled it, and I think, like this is like 100% my personal opinion. I do think that they're like way too restrictive, and like they needed to change it. Like the way that it was before was not ideal, and then there was something they could have done. There was a path that they could have taken to like reduce like moderation, reduce like, you know, like upkeep, because like they have to like keep an eye on people, and then there was a way to like make more money because it opens up the platform to like different types of content that people are interested in watching. They could have done that, but they took like the most like, I'm just gonna put it out there. They like, it's as if like you and I were like running the company, right? That's the path that we would have taken. Like, absolutely, like, the smoothest brain, you know? Like, it's just like, let's just fucking let's just, like, fucking full send it, right? It's like, what's the worst that could happen, right? And then, like, suddenly, like, we're, like, you know that scene from, like, American History X, like, Mickey Mouse is fucking curb stomping
When he
us?
curb
It's like,
stomps,
oh,
yeah.
shit.
Dude, you said it, and I was like, oh, when he curb stomps that guy.
Yes, yes!
Because when someone says that
Mickey
scene
Mouse
from
has
American
giant
History
fucking
X,
shoes, right?
yeah. Yeah, I think
I'm gonna draw that. Me and you, like, just like ugly crying, like snot down our nostrils, and like we got our teeth up against the curb, and then it's like just Mickey Mouse. You don't even see Mickey Mouse. It's just his giant fucking feet. Right?
And what is it? Is it his family, or who's going like, no, don't do it? Right. Like, the thing is, it's like, I think that there might be a more heinous truth to all this, and much more of a sombering and sad truth to all this. Possibly at the end, we might be further back than where we started.
Yeah.
At the end of it all, I think that's the worst thing, is that 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Because yes, before it wasn't bad because there was not a consistency in how choices were made, right? Like a vague, slightly skin-showing VTuber would get banned, and some girl's just fucking milking her milkers right on stream, and the VTuber gets banned, right? There's like inconsistency. Also, yeah, there might be people that were just doing straight up illicitly, like explicitly sexual stuff. Yeah. But I mean, this sucks because it's kind of just throwing the people who get like banned or punished under the bus. But it's kind of like, okay, yes, some people got banned unrightfully, some people, but at least it was still there. Now they have like an eagle eye lockdown on everything.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, we tried, and now we have explicit. You can't. I think we took 2 steps backwards. I would agree. To more restrictive, so we're worse off now. I did learn one thing.
What did you learn?
I could draw some fucking great Rouge the Bat honkers. I draw
you didn't know that
mean.
before?
In theory, I think I'm sort of like Frieza. You know how Frieza, Golden Frieza? Do you know anything about this? How Golden Frieza,
yeah,
like never trained. When he fights Goku on Namek.
Yeah. Like the first arc.
Yes.
Like
He's like so strong.
Right.
And Golden Frieza is the result as he appears in like Dragon Ball Super, is the result from him deciding, I'm gonna actually try to get stronger. So he's kind of like a prodigy. Is basically the implication. He was strong enough to fight Super Saiyan Goku. He lost, but he was strong enough to like take over what's the planet that the Saiyans come from? Planet Vegeta. To take over the Saiyans, can fight Goku just based on pure raw talent. But then he actually trains and then becomes Golden Frieza. I think that's me when it comes to drawing like hardcore furry pornography. I think I have like the mindset for it. I'm basically like the Shohei Ohtani of drawing porn. And I'm ready to be traded and sign with the Dodgers. Okay.
Well, all right, what organization would you consider the Dodgers of hardcore furry pornography?
Patreon, I guess.
Patreon?
Because he kind of deferred his payments and he's getting paid like it's 700 million, but he decided to take like a small payment and then defer it so that he's getting paid yearly even after he retires or is not even playing for the Dodgers. So I consider that to be metaphorically like a crowdsourced third party source of like support. So I imagine myself as like Shohei Ohtani making hardcore furry pornography and being supported by the masses as opposed to like streaming here on Twitch. That's kind of like my next move. Patreon cracking down on not safe for work stuff. See, that's also the danger, and that's always and the problem. I talked about. This speaks to like a bigger problem of like there are bad actors and whatnot, but there's also just like, why can't I as an adult and other consenting adults agree, and why aren't we allowed to pursue this, to consume it and create it, right? Like I get it, we can't like it has to be in its proper lane, and that's why I think this is all a shame, because why can't why if you label your stream and say this is not allowed for this person, if they don't show it on the homepage and give it its own category and space, like why can't that be? Why can't we do that? you know, I don't know why. And it's such a shame that happens. So yeah, it's these artists. And I mean that's the only thing, or not the only thing I pay attention to, but that's the main thing I pay attention to when it comes to like this not safe for work, like creator space. Tumblr, Alistair from Tumblr.
Yeah, I remember that. Like
And
they tried to ban it, right?
And then
it just died overnight.
Right, and then Twitter, you get shadow banned and whatnot. And then now here with Twitch, 2 steps backwards. And then now even Patreon, which is like again one of the last places where maybe you could think. Like where else now, right? I know
Picarto, right?
Picarto, yeah, Picarto.
Yeah.
I might do some streams there.
What's
maybe
that new one that's like run by like a freaking like gambling website that's like 95%
Kick?
Sure. Do you think Kick is gonna like allow like full on like whatever the hoo-ha, and then like Twitch is scared of that and they're like, we gotta, you know.
It would be a big move.
like if Kick was like like they do what Twitch did, and then Mickey Mouse tries to do the same like threatening phone call, and then they're like, try your best, Mickey, I'm behind 6 like VPNs or whatever, right? Like I'm behind 6 proxies. It's like, good luck, try finding me in like, I don't know, a bunker like in Sealandia or whatever. And it's just like, and then, you know, that's like one more like building block to them like catching up. And I'm not sure whether
Kick
that
is running on Amazon Web Services. Yes, that is true. So
because it's freaking the code for Twitch is just like for sale. Like anybody can just buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, chat, but Kick operates on basically Twitch's framework, Amazon's framework.
Yeah.
But it's a service. Like if you want to start your own like streaming website based on the infrastructure that Twitch has from Amazon, like you can like buy it. And so it's just hilarious because Kick is seen as like this rival to Twitch or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's the same thing. Yeah.
And I would say like almost like a doomed to not necessarily fail, but never set up to overtake Twitch because they will always be paying more in like the baseline cost. So yeah, I don't know. I might do a BOOBA stream because it was fun. I liked it.
I mean, I could see it being real good. Like, I don't know much about like,
on like Picarto or something.
I mean, on Twitch, if you add like a sensor bar and you're drawing it behind the bar, does that get destroyed? Like, do you get bonked for that?
I mean, I guess so. I could go see a baseball game with a blindfold on too, you know? It's just kind of like, Or what if I lower my resolution to like 140p? And maybe.
I think.
Okay, well, I said this, and this is, I said this earlier as well. There's like, we're trying to like make up excuses and we're saying it's artistic or this is my art. I also think, well, what if I just want to watch porn? Fuck you. And other consenting adults want to watch some fucking like hardcore, right? Like I think that's also like something to be said, because I feel like no one's saying that enough. Just like, well, why do I have to come up with, why do these group of people, why do we have to come up with like fit into some sort of like excuse to
we're at like the Olympic level like mental gymnastics to like
actually actually why, if we take the right precautions and stay in like the right spaces, why can't we just do it for the sake of like, well, I'm an adult and I like that. Fuck you.
I mean, one thing is like there are already websites, like platforms that have that, right?
True.
Like, why does it need to be on Twitch? I'm playing like the devil's advocate here. Like, why does it need to be on Twitch? And I think like the real reason is like there's a lot of content creators that were like good at that, and like they would be able to outperform the people that are on the other websites.
Mm-hmm.
But then you would be starting from nothing. Like you have used a significant amount of like time and effort to grow like your audience on this platform, and if you move, it's just, you know, you're building a brand new house, right? Like, why not just like add, you know, like a shiny sign outside of the house that you spent years building, and it's just like, hey, if you want to watch a fox dude get dicked down, like the pipe, you know, like you just hop on in, right? And it's the same house. Like you rebrand the house, and then like you don't need to move, right? Which I understand, but also it's kind of like there are other websites that like
Yeah,
do that.
I guess my answer to that would be more of like, well, if we take what I feel like is very easy steps, like separating it, tagging it, not showing it.
Yeah.
Like, why not if it provides marginal benefit to both the platform and the user? That's like my why, right? Like, well, why not, right? Like on Twitch, you know, it's like, yes, we could go to like another platform, but if basically it's just like, it seems like we could just do step 1, step 2, step 3, and then I can just be on Twitch, and both Twitch and me as the creator could benefit. So it's not like a hard answer to like what like that, but it's kind of like a well, why not kind of situation. But yes, you know, we could
Definitely like what they could have done, like a staggered rollout, right? Like they could have picked like content creators that are already on there, like the big art streamers. There's like, hey, are you interested in doing like testing out NSFW, like tasteful NSFW like art? Like we will lift it for like 20 creators and just like stagger the rollout so that people know like the guideline of like what is, instead of just being like everybody can do whatever the fuck they want. Of course, like this idiot like is just gonna go like all out and like, you know, put like a fucking webcam in their bedroom and just like fuck, right? It's like, you idiot. Like,
yeah, but
they could have done like a limited rollout and then like with content creators like just like that they trust.
Well,
like,
okay, that's true. Well, here's the thing. There was like an actual like box that you have to click for like this classification label, and I think large part of the problem is I did this stream ASAP. A lot of people did it on the second day. I did it the night of. That I like, and it was actually kind of vague. And I do think this is like on Twitch. As me, I'm like, okay, I hear the news, I read your article, I'm a streamer, I'm going to do this. I was a little confused. I was like, okay, they were saying they're putting out buzzwords, classification label, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I don't know what that is, Twitch. What is that? They didn't show and say like, which is this? And you have to do this. And they didn't roll it out because they release the statement, they make the update. But when I went to stream and I went to edit my stream thing, my, you know, like my stream info, like that little box where you check, it wasn't there. And I know it wasn't there because that was something I was worried about. I was like, wait, so what is the classification label specifically? I was confused. And so I like looked at it very rigorously to try to be like, okay, is this like, do I just, and ultimately I didn't see anything. So I assumed, okay, it must be to type the tag in, which I feel a lot of people ended up doing because it was just not there before. Like they should have rolled it out before like saying it. Of course, I think that's just like a small problem. I think, again, the main problem is just people doing hardcore pornography straight up on Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, 2 steps back. It's like, for the foreseeable future, it's like completely Jover, right? Like,
yeah. That being said, I don't know if me talking about this ruins the prospect of it, but I literally was reached out to by Picarto.
No shot
to stream on their platform with some sort of deal.
You know
and I thought it would be interesting to do it not because the deal itself is good. In fact, possibly hypothetically speaking, it might be kind of bad, but just in lieu of the situation could be good to do, or at least interesting.
I mean, like, what I would do, because you can multi-stream now, right?
It's just pixelate. Oh, you're a fucking. Who's the guy from There Will Be Blood? You fucking. It's blurred on Twitch, but it's fucking. Oh my gosh! And you just funnel the track, dude. We're gonna get fucking that. We're gonna get black bagged because of that. That actually, they're gonna put in more rules.
The only thing we have to lose is our chains, right? And like this shows Twitch like how like ham-fisted, how smooth-brained they're being about it, right?
Yeah, I think it's diversifying is always good. I feel like this is like a weirdly like intertwined scenario with the exodus of Twitch from Korea, right?
Yeah.
In terms of
that was nuts.
Right, and it just
was not okay.
You kind of touched on it right there. It's like your whole life, and then 3 idiots from Twitch go, I bet that, huh? And the guy's like, huh, and then it's like, oh, my life's ruined, right?
They're like Sims. You sound exactly like Flabada Dingadoo?
And
Shabadoo Simada.
Shibadoo Samono. and yeah. So I think I guess I don't know. I thought about it, and I just didn't have the energy because I'm cooking up. It's no secret right now. I'm it's a very long-term prospect for me, but I want to do like a VTuber persona.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like I'm in sort of like a renaissance with my classroom stuff and my videos and just doing stuff in general. We're doing our D&D soon.
We're doing the D&D, but I want to like.
Is there a day? We haven't talked about this.
It'll be next week,
and we could do it. We could talk about it off stream, but we haven't talked about it, like finalizing the follow up.
Yeah.
Are you like, I'm down. Do you want to like pick a day right now? Do you want to tell them?
Yeah, I'm finalizing the maps. I was gonna try to do it this week, but like shit went like crazy. It went sideways.
Yeah, I was drawing Roots of the Bad Tits, and it's busy all around.
I'm hoping next week. I'm not gonna pin it down yet because I don't want to like
sometime next
pressure,
week.
But I'm hoping like next weekend. So like 7 days from now, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't want to like force your hand on live stream, but I would love to be in like a lecture somehow. Like I want it.
Dude, let's do it.
I love them. They're so funny.
God, what was I saying? Yeah, wait, no. Okay. So I was saying, like we're kind of hitting a stride finally after such a long time of sorry. I get so much spam. Have you ever thought of like, oh, I need to like switch my phone number because I'm tired of the spam I get? But then you think like, oh, but then I would have to like find every little thing my phone number is associated with, and but
I switched my phone number every 2 years.
Yeah, every day because
not every
knowing you.
Every 2 years to try because like too many people know my phone number and I don't like that.
So right, exactly.
And then like every time within about a month, my sister finds out my new phone number and then she beats the shit out of me. But I think that's like the beating is like well worth the peace of mind that it gives me knowing that like nobody knows how to contact me anymore. But
I see.
That's just me.
I see.
Absolute lunatic. You're the lunatic. I'm the only sane sentient sapient being like on the planet. Like everybody else is fucking insane. It's crazy. Anyway.
Shutter Island. Just Shutter Island.
It's a Shutter Island situation.
Yeah, she's in the rocks. She's been here for 35 years. My train of thought was, okay. So my point was like, for me, actually, in terms of diversifying and getting, I feel like for content creators, it's all about like fighting for getting your feet as solid into the ground as possible, because content in terms of career is very bumpy, very unstable. I mean, look what happened to all the streamers in Korea, or maybe you were an artist on Twitch and like that you got your hopes up, and so in search or in pursuit of that diversification, I was like, this would be a perfect opportunity and timing for me to like launch and funnel to like maybe like a not safe for work art entity of mine.
I mean, it was like half a joke, but now that I'm thinking about it, it might be a good idea to like multi-stream to Picarto and just a big old censorship bar on Twitch. I just think it would be fucking hilarious. And you could do a bit where like you're like narrating what you're drawing, right? And it's like, oh yeah.
Right, and I'm sure Twitch has some sort of like, they got rid of their non-compete, but I'm sure there's like, I actually don't think you're allowed to say the word Patreon. I think technically it's not allowed. or something like that. Like, I'm sure you can't say like that. Like, I'm streaming on Picarto right now or something, but some sort of system. I think.
I read the multi-streaming like TOS update, and you're not allowed. Oh wait, maybe that would be against the TOS. It was specifically for chat, I think. Like, you have to give equal like attention to Twitch chat as to like any other platform that you're streaming on,
What
or something like that.
Okay, see, because, and then it's like, oh, but what metric? You know, like what parameter? And this
how do they quantify that?
And this is the most. I think this has been the most frustrations in general of people with Twitch. Like, the main contention point is like that, based on what you just told me, and historically speaking, it always ends up being arbitrary to like the Twitch employee. Or whatever. It's always a question of like, in light of this sexual content on Twitch now, how they wanted to make some parameters, because it does feel like you guys seem to just kind of like, do you throw dice or like do you pull cards? How do you make these decisions? And that's like another like, that's kind of scary, right? Because you're like, okay, so then it's a Tuesday and John didn't have breakfast, so he's like upset, and so he's just gonna be like more prone to like, okay, I think that's not allowed, right? It does seem kind of like that kind of situation. But I was like, that would be the perfect time to, but I just don't want to be spread too thin. Sorry guys, I can't stream because I'm drawing fucking, well, I guess you said I could multi-stream, but you know, it's like, I'm on frame 776 of this hardcore like Cuphead porn animation I'm making. I can't make a YouTube video. Like, I'm spreading myself too thin. Yeah, he's sucking on the straw on top of his head, and he's like, oh, it's milk splashing everywhere. But
it's the dice dude, right? The guy with the big dice sort of head.
Oh wait, I drew that thumbnail. Where is that? Hold on. I'll show you exactly what I. Everyone, look at my stream right now.
I think the most like weirdly sexual Cuphead character is the carrot. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? There's like a carrot enemy, like a boss that you have to fight.
Look at my stream.
All right, hold on. What are we looking at? What was it talking about? I'm looking at your stream. It's muted though. What are we looking at?
Look at that Cuphead thumbnail right there.
You're like Hannibal Lecter. You're like eating his. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that scene?
Yeah, he's like all sedated and he's like awake and he's.
You're like Hannibal Lecter.
If anyone wants to subscribe to that second channel of mine.
Then you take a smaller like teacup that looks exactly, it's the same shape
and it's
as Cuphead's
sentient,
head, and you dip it, and then you make Cuphead drink his own, like, you know, and he's like, what does it taste like? And Cuphead is like, tastes good. Like your viewership is gonna drop by like 30. It's gonna be the meme image of like the old man that's just like taking the headphones off. He's just, I'm done. I'm fucking done. He's just fucking.
Oh, the guy, he's like, it's like a sports casting. He's like, he's just got glasses. What do you think of my haircut, by the way? My new haircut. Is it better than my?
It and you didn't see it.
What did you describe it as?
I said, and I don't know if the people in chat will remember what I said. I said it looks like you've gained 20 to 25K in student loans. That's what it looks like. Would you say that that's about right?
Yeah, I see that.
People say that like I'm like a Florida man poet. Like, I could look at something and I could describe it in a way that like doesn't make any sense, but it's like, yeah, I could see that. Would you say that's true?
A Floridian Shakespeare?
Yeah, like a Floridian Shakespeare, where it's just like, how did you come to that conclusion? But yeah, I could see it now that you mentioned it.
Should we play something or just?
I don't. Should we just? I mean, I'm fine to just keep chatting, but
We could
I
chat.
said we were gonna do Stardew, but honestly,
We could play Apex.
we just
We
haven't.
could play-
You just want to
we
play
could the
Apex. That's the
forest.
truth. Oh God, the forest.
I think. All right, I'm gonna level with you. I'm more Sweatlord in Stardew than I am in Apex. I could chat better in Apex because I know no matter how hard I try, like I'll never do well in Apex. So like it's much easier for me to ignore it and infuriate our third pickup player, right? But in Stardew, I'm like a giga Sweatlord. Like I'm like rushing to ancient fruit, trying to get the trying to get the Joja. Like I'm Joja maxing. It's just like it's too much, you know.
Okay, hold on. Let's see here.
Or we could play Lego Fortnite. Is there a PvP mode in Lego Fortnite? Wait, do I even have? No, I can't do Fortnite. Remember, like we were trying to like boot up and play a few games.
Oh, that's
off
a
stream,
shame.
and
They made Lego Fortnite's actually so good.
it's so frustrating. I'm trying to get my password, and then they're just like, nope, nope.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's
have to
right.
put
I
in your-
remember because we were
Yeah.
gonna stream Fortnite or
Yeah.
just play Fortnite. I can't remember, but dude, what about? Did you ever try No Man's Sky?
That's a single player game, right?
It's multiplayer now,
No way.
and they
Huh.
updated it. It was like, you know, if you remember, it was like such an awful launch and whatever. But
Yeah.
I streamed it one day and it was actually pretty cool. And then they told me you could play multiplayer, so that could be a fun one we do in the future. Okay.
It's like it's like what Starfield was like. It's like Starfield was like, we're gonna be No Man's Sky, but like we're gonna be good out the gate. And it's like, well, that gets thrown out the fucking window.
Okay, so I keep hearing this from everyone I talk to. I just had a guest and they're like, oh yeah, Starfield, that was such a fucking. So what happened? What was the deal with that?
What was the deal with that?
Like it just sucked, or like, because I like Fallout, is that them? Skyrim? Like I've never been really big in those games, into those games. So
like you're asking like, why is Starfield so heavily panned, right?
yeah.
So it's like build is like a open world exploration. I think at one point they were trying to like insinuate that it's like the model size of like the universe. Like you go to like different solar systems and like different planets. And it's like
okay.
And like they were like did like some fucking con man was like trying to like hype it up to be like crazy, right?
It sounds like the same thing that happened in No Man's Sky. It just sounds like it was supposed to be this big open world exploration, and it's just like wasn't.
Exactly. Yeah. So what ended up happening is it is a walking simulator, and if you want to go to a new planet, you have to you hit a loading screen, you know, and then like you're in the area of space, like a tiny little sandbox around the planet that you're going to, and then you pick a location to touch down, and then you touch down, and then you're on a planet, and it's fucking empty. And like any like areas where it's like there's like stuff to do there, like a quote unquote dungeon would be like, you know, like a colony. What the fuck is that?
Okay, Carol just. So we're hosting this Christmas party. I told Chat, and so Carol's been practicing these drinks.
What?
So
Is that alcoholic?
yes. Well, I don't know if this thing is. Which I'm still sad you can't make. But we've been before I lose that train of thought, we've been talking about doing like a in-person streaming week, right?
We have to go camping. That would be fucking hilarious.
Dude, I'm down. I want to. Or something, basically something like that, where we were like seeing each other again, because it's been a long while. We've been talking about wanting to do something. So maybe sometime in the future, I would love to do something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, for this Christmas party,
that looks really good.
This is a Santa shot. You see, it's got like red, green.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Damn.
You have to pick
What
up.
is it?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Ooh, instantly smells like toothpaste. Must be a peppermint thing.
Huh. Okay.
All right. Cheers to our fallen brethren. Hold on. Give me a second. Your Fugi Tech is your Lethal Company thing, by the way.
It is, yeah. I didn't change it.
I don't mind. I'm just letting you know.
I like how I'm like an orb, and then I just like shift into like Lethal Company, and then I go back to orb. It's like I like it. I like the aesthetic of it. Man, Twitch, what the heck?
I'm doing a bit.
You doing a bit? What's the bit?
Watch my stream.
All right, I'm watching.
Brothers. We fought hard. My fellow artists. Brave men and women. We fought hard for our BOOBA. We suffered for our cocks. But alas, the war ends with bloodshed. But we can hope for a new day. Perhaps a new platform to draw our explicit furry pornography. But today's not that day. But I call for a toast for all the BOOBA that has been drawn and been yet to be drawn. And to the wonderful artists and creatives here on... I've spilt my drink all over the place already. Cheers to the artists. And cheers to many more boobs and cocks and big fat fucking pussy lips to be drawn in the future. Hear, hear.
Cheers! Woo!
Ooh. Ooh.
You're not a heavy drinker. You're a lightweight.
So
How did that hit you?
it's like you ever watch X-Men First Class? It's like the new X-Men movies with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. It's kind of like the reboot.
Yeah.
There's this one scene where like there's this guy, what is he? He can adapt to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Bacon is the antagonist, and he forces him to eat like an explosion. Darwin, that was his name. That was like that. That's what it felt like this warmth falling into my stomach.
So
yeah,
it's like a full shot.
Yeah, I'm a very lightweight drinker. Well, you said I'm not a heavy drinker. Well, I drink every day almost.
Do you?
No, like I don't know. Like I drink like a glass of wine with dinner, pretty much 5 days out of the week.
All
And
right.
then we party, and I'll drink a lot like every other Saturday, or sometimes like 2 days in a row, and then not the next week. So like definitely not like a normal like average amount. Slightly above that, I will admit, but not like heavy. But I am like an absolute lightweight. So is it really heavy drinking if all I can take is like a single glass and then I'm like out for the night? You know?
You would think that,
My
like,
liver
if
would probably
if
agree.
it was that regular, you would build up the tolerance. It's surprising that you have not built up the tolerance. But I will say right now, that is probably like the ideal situation to be like somebody that drinks for enjoyment, not to like deaden the pain, right? Because you spend the least amount of money and you waste the least amount of time, and I feel like you get the least amount of blowback to your body. Like you don't get hangovers drinking that little, right? Like you can't get dehydrated off of like one glass of wine.
Right, but I think the problem is that I drink to enjoy life more. Like I use it as like, well, I guess that doesn't everyone do, but it's like I drink. I've leveled up beyond like, oh, it's just for socializing. Like I drink in order to become like in a heightened sense, right? Like
Okay.
it's a high now, which I feel that's like the dangerous level, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. But that being said, I can't drink that much because I'm a lightweight. But I forget my point. What was I gonna say?
I mean, we're talking about like.
Oh, I have like an addictive personality.
I would agree with that. Remember when we went to Target, you motherfucker?
I many trips to Target I've taken.
And the entire goal was to get more Pokemon cards.
Oh, I've cut
we
back.
didn't even get what I needed. Like I needed something for my flight. We didn't even get what I needed.
I can't even.
Shit?
You know this is why I know I have a problem, because what's worse about that is that I not only do I not remember what you needed, I don't even remember what cards I ended up getting. Okay, this is like some kind of eggnog.
Okay. Oh, that.
Hold on,
that's
it's
TOS
spilling
for
over.
sure.
It's spilling over the sides.
That is TOS for sure. That is.
How?
TOS
I'm fucking
for
just
sure.
drinking some eggnog.
Come on.
Oh, brandy eggnog. Wait, does this have milk in it?
It's like the freaking Grimace Shake bit all over again.
That
Wait,
wasn't
does
a
it have milk in
bit.
it? That was. Don't tell me. Don't.
That wasn't a bit.
Don't.
He fucking came all over me.
Oh, come on! You have to save that for the OnlyFans content. Please tell me you got like the.
No, stop! You can't say that. That's TOS. You can't say that website.
Oh shit!
I think that's true, actually.
Is it actually true? You can't say that word. That's like kind of annoying, my man.
Kind of fucked. I literally don't think you can say Patreon. No, I'm not kidding. Isn't that fucked? Isn't that fucked? Like Patreon is such a good third-party support like avenue for creators, and Twitch like says you can't even say that website. They don't want people fun. Like that's really fucked.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, they could like fix their busted ass like platform, but instead they're just gonna like
I love Twitch.tv. Unironically, I love Twitch.tv.
They still won't let me monetize. It's like crazy to me. Like, and I'm like pretty consistently doing like okay, right? Like most of my viewership has definitely moved back to YouTube, but I'm like I have an okay amount of people on Twitch, and they still won't let me even be an affiliate.
Yeah,
so that's
it's
fucking
like pros
crazy.
and cons to both platforms. So it's like either way, like I just like Twitch because I like the culture of it. I think that's what most people would say, is that I like the culture of it.
I really like rating because I follow a shit ton of VTubers, and I think they're all like really cool and good at what they do. They just like it's hard. It's hard like to get like a cold start. So I would like to raid people.
Yeah, I was
like
trying
that.
to. I managed to be awake. Oh shit, I'm getting fucked up. I managed to be awake during one of your streams, and I was trying to. I saw one time I didn't acknowledge it, but after the fact, I thank you for the 10 gifted subs. By the way, I saw that.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, he gifted subs to me that one time. I'm gonna give subs right now, and I thought I was having like a Bill Gates moment where I don't know how the cost of a banana, because I was like, oh my god, I'm such a greedy person. I don't even know how to like, how do I even open up that like UI? I don't even know how to pay money. But then I realized, oh, it's because you're not monetized on Twitch.
Yep. And I don't know if I ever will be. Like, it's tough. I don't know.
Well, also, guys, listen. The thing is, I also have my glass of wine with my dinner, so it's like, it's like it even cushions it even more, and I still get blasted. Oh, I lost my train of thought earlier, but I was saying I have an addictive personality, and the reason why I drink, like, it's mostly wine at the end of the night.
Yeah.
It's because and again, this is not like a good thing I'm saying, but it's because I have an addictive personality, and if it's not that, I would be doing something else. And the only reason it's been alcohol recently is because I can't drink coffee at night, or else I would be completely ruined, right? Because I wake up and I drink such a small dosage of caffeine, but constantly. So I have something like I have just a very addictive personality. I like drinking the coffee and feeling the coffee through my body throughout the whole day. But it reaches a point in the day where I'm like, I can't possibly drink anymore, or I'll be up till like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I stop drinking coffee and I drink wine. And it's like, you know, alcohol is a killer or whatever, but I'll be honest, it's a real struggle for me. Not a struggle, but it's like if I get that kind of, I don't know, that kind of like, I get that feeling. I guess that's called being like a alcoholic. No, or like an addict, because I'm like, I would, and it's not good because I used to do this in college and I don't do it anymore and I haven't in years, but I'm like, I can really go for a smoke right now.
Yeah.
And if I have my one, and I'll be honest, maybe 2 glasses of wine like at night on a weekday with like my dinner, I don't want to smoke. And my dad was like a heavy smoker. And it's so bad that, you know, it's no secret that I live in Las Vegas. We have a bunch of casinos. When I go into the casino and I get hit with that blast cigarette smoke, I feel nostalgic. It reminds me of my childhood. That's how much my dad smoked. So I feel like this might be copium, but like if I drink like my glass of wine every night, it's like, yeah, I might be like kind of drunk that night, but it's like, it's better than me going back to smoking cigarettes.
Can I just say that like it's so on brand that you used to smoke as like pre-med?
Well, I'll be honest, I never was like in a heavy smoker. I wasn't like smoking packs, but I smoked like some cigarettes because when I went to school, I hung out with all the Korean kids and Korean Americans. And
whoa, okay.
If you don't know, chat, like Koreans are heavy smokers. They all smoke.
I don't know if that's true or not. Is that like
that's in my experience, like Koreans smoke.
I think I'm more spot on than you. I think like everybody that's pre-med smokes like crazy.
I guess so.
It's like mysterious to me that like people that are going to be doctors are smoking when like pretty much everybody is like,
it's because
it's terrible for you.
Well, you just need to like, I'm not like a proponent of addiction or something, but like my philosophy with this is that you need some sort of like decompression. Yes, you need some kind of vice. You need some sort of decompression. It's kind of related. Like someone asked me once in chat, how do you not burn out? And I'm like, dude, it's not about not burning out. It's about who is able to bounce back the quickest and most successfully compared to your competition and peers, which is really fucked up.
It has to be a vice. I think if you don't want to smoke, if you don't want alcohol, you just get the hardcore furry porn. And you use that to decompress, you know, maybe give it a little bit of, like, you know.
I don't think that's a vice.
I don't know. You can get addicted to it, you know, and it's very expensive, right? You can get addicted to it.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Just kidding.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I think everyone needs a sort of. What's your vice? Well, okay, here's the thing. This is really fucked up, and this is like a really bad outlook, or rather, it says a lot about society. LOL.
Yeah.
I don't consider, like, porn is a vice, yes, but when we talk about vices, I don't call it a vice because it's so widespread and universal. But like someone who smokes, that's their vice, and like, but other people just don't smoke. But like, porn is so like constant. And like everyone drinks, yes, but I actually don't know that many like true alcoholics, right? Like it ruins their lives. Like it's their vice, like alcohol, right? But like I think porn addiction is just so much more widespread, which is its own problem, I guess. But like when I talk about vices, I don't really like.
I think I understand what you're talking about. I think it's not like if it's not a moral or ethical thing because I don't hold with that shit, right? It's not like like it's not proper. Like I think for me a vice is like if it's something that like wastes your time and your money, and the only reason you do it is because it gives you like the happy chemicals in your brain.
Wait,
and you just, you know.
But does that mean when I shop at Target, that's my vice?
Yes, that's a vice. For me, your Target is my Costco. I go to Costco when I'm feeling like really down, right?
What's your vice?
Like actual vice? What, like I'm thinking of like what do I have? I mean, like I'm gonna level with you. If it's like what do I buy? It's just I buy weapons. Like that's just what I do. Okay. I recently bought an axe for myself because I was feeling sad.
So and I mean that's a good that's a perfect like it's retail therapy, right?
Yeah, retail therapy might be my vice. I don't know. And then, bro, I fucking dropped so much money building a new computer, and I don't think I need one. But here I am.
Dude, my computer. Oh my god, it was like we never. I don't think we spoke. At least like in a voice call. Oh wait, maybe I don't even fucking. We talk all the time, but
Yeah.
my fucking computer. Like,
I feel so bad that I recommended a Corsair.
no,
PSUs
I would
are
have
like
gone
10
with a
out of 10.
Corsair anyways. That's what
Yeah.
that was in my old build because it's fucking
Yeah.
Corsair. It looks all nice.
They're good.
And, yeah, it's just
It's
like
crazy.
it's just someone's got to be the unlucky one. I just got unlucky. I guess my power. Oh, actually, I don't know if you heard this story. So what happened was, I was playing Lethal Company with mods. You were actually in that stream. You showed up. But in the beginning of that stream, my stream went down actually.
Yes.
And if you remember that, right? And so what happened
Yeah.
was I went to touch my Go XLR to mute it. And when I did it, it disconnected and went beep, and then my computer shut down. Okay?
What the fuck?
But I only realized that in hindsight because I fixed the computer and everything and I was doing whatever. And I went to do it again. I went to touch it and it disconnected. It didn't shut my computer off, but one of my chargers stopped working.
What the
I think something's going on where my Go XLR, the cables or connection or something, like is short circuiting devices or something.
What?
So I try not to touch this at all. Hey, Dusko, what's up? I'm already do I seem? Okay, guys, you've never witnessed this process of me getting blasted, so I think you're going to be able to see it now and tell me about it and come to your own conclusions. The process of me going from sober to like drunk because this fucking eggnog
Is getting you?
is getting. And what gets me is if I mix, it's over.
Yeah.
If I could drink wine, I could drink beer, I could do whatever and be like okay, but if I cross the streams and do like wine and a beer. Or like a shot and a meh, then it's is that for everyone? Is that like I'm not even speaking sentences anymore. I don't even remember what we were talking about. My computer?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before you like did attention about,
I want to I was taking it apart and I was hanging out with some other friends and I told them that I have 100 and I have 264, so what is that? 132 gigabytes of RAM, and they started laughing, and they're like, "What are you doing? Launching a rocket ship? Like, is that really it?" Because I feel like I could afford to have more.
I think you have 128. I don't know like what
128. Yeah.
All right. Scratch that. I know exactly what you would need 128 gigabytes of RAM for. That's if you use Chrome as your browser.
I do have a lot of Chrome.
That's what I would counter
open.
with, That's what I would counter with. Like they're like, oh, what are you, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, MIT? You're trying to create like the new AI. You're going for artificial general intelligence. Like they're roasting you, right? But they're like, do you guys use Chrome? And they're like, yeah, I use Chrome. Why? And it's like 128 gigabytes. I run Chrome better than you do. Fuck off,
I mean, apart from someone who's doing like, I don't know, rendering like Blender 3D animations or something like that, I my use case is probably like one of the highest, even compared to other streamers. I have like my webcam, I have like my tablet, and sometimes I have my music gear that's also plugged into it. Do you think I'm just like being too rough on it?
You mean like your hardware?
Yeah.
Like that's why it's like on the fritz? I do not think you're being too hard on it. I think if you want my opinion, I don't know what the situation is like in your like workspace in the summer, but does it get like hotter than like the space in between Satan's testicles, like in your room?
Yeah, it's the surface of the sun in my room.
Yeah, that's probably what's like reducing the lifespan of like all of your hardware. Like everything that's got like a PCB, like a circuit board. Is
I was worried about that because it does get insanely hot in this room.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I mean, heat is the enemy of all like electronics.
What can I do?
What can you do?
There's space for like one more fan.
I don't want to make a. I don't like. I'm going to be like 100% serious because I love like talking about this stuff. Moving is out of the option. Like you're
Moving's
you
out
are
of the
where
option.
you are, right?
Yeah.
You just have to lower the temperatures in your workroom, and I don't know how you're going to do that, but
I have the window open right now, and it's like it's winter, and it's still like. How do I look up the temperature of it right now?
what?
Where am I going?
You just. Oh, you mean like the ambient temperature outside, like the outside temperature?
No, I mean like of my rig right now, and
Oh, of your rig. Like I use CPU Z. I think is pretty good. There's also like a couple other like programs that you can. And I think can you?
did you download that onto my thing?
I think I did.
It's launching.
The HW monitor is also pretty good.
It's launching. A new version is available. Sure.
Fuck that. No, don't download.
Okay. It booted up. So what am I looking at here? CPU.
Yeah.
Is there temperature?
Should be.
Max TDP. Is that it?
No. That's like. What does TDP stand for? Thermal something.
I'm not seeing temper. Oh wait. No, I'm not seeing a temperature.
Maybe CPU Z is the wrong program then.
Mainboard.
HW monitor.
About.
Maybe?
Chat. Help.
They're saying that like Windows 11 might have like a thing that you could look it up, but I'm pretty sure I downloaded the program to like check your temperature.
Okay, wait, what was the other one?
HW monitor. Hardware monitor.
Monitor? No, I don't have that.
You don't have that? I thought CPU Z has let's see. Is there UI have it?
Memory. Main board. CPU. I know I'm a little blasted right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm not seeing.
Is there a tab that says thermal?
No.
On the nothing? Huh.
No. About graphics. No. Well, basically, I just want to find the temperature right now and tell you guys. And if you guys are like, "What the hell? Your computer's about to explode," then I know a change needs to happen.
Right. It's just you got to control the temperature.
Whatever. How about that? Huh? Well, I do think I push it because it's like I stream OBS, I have camera, tablet, and my music software, editing videos, DaVinci Resolve, music programs, just a bunch of stuff. So maybe I'm too harsh on it, but if it's a matter of cooling down my room, the only way I can, I'd have to get like a big trough and pour ice water in it. Maybe.
I mean, you could get like a window unit, but then it would be like fucking loud, right? And then yeah.
Okay. I'm officially gone.
You want to play some Apex?
Let's play something. I think I might have to update Apex.
You can just chat while you're updating. That's fine.
Oh gosh, this is the worst game for me to be playing in this state at this period. What game have you been like
into?
Yeah, lately.
World of Warcraft. It's bad.
I was watching some of that, and I don't understand. It's very hard for me to understand.
It's an old game that has a lot of nostalgia feel, but they changed it. There's a new feature they have for Classic where so the level cap for the original Classic was level 60. And then so whenever they like started like a Classic server, the sweat lords would come out in force and just get from 1 to 60 in like 3 days, right? And it's just like I used to be like that. I used to be that type of like nerd. But I can't do that anymore, right? And it's just like not fun to me playing Classic, and then like, you know, I log on, I play for 3 hours, and I'm like, wow, 3 hours, like that's a lot of gaming for me nowadays, right? And then I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and fucking Joker is like 60 already. It's like, oh great, what's the point of playing? So what they changed for this season is that they capped it way lower. Right now it's capped at level 25. Like you can't go higher than level 25, and it's like kind of changing the game. It's like kind of cool.
Okay, interesting. Like
they added some new spells and abilities. They added like quests. They made raids, but like for me, the level cap at a much lower level.
So it
is
made
the
it
thing
more.
that I like.
Would you say it's like made it more accessible?
Yeah, I would say it's more like casual friendly, but not really because I heard the sweat lords are like sweat lording it already. Like the level
Sweat lords are
25,
always gonna sweat it up.
but they're like making it shitty for everybody else. They're just like, we're not going to let you into our group if you're not like gear score. If your eye level is not 35, like we're not going to let you in. Your average eye level has to be 35, and it's like you fucking just
Yeah. I get it. That's the problem with a lot of these older MMOs, because it's like a lot of the MMOs I'd want to play are still live, but the problem is the only people that are left are the absolute sweaty of the sweat lords, because that's the only people that would be playing after it dies.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of like,
I also think that like we're just done with MMOs, even though like I used
No,
to.
I'm waiting for the resurgence. A renaissance shall happen. We will get to that Sword Art Online.
No.
I know it's gonna happen. The resurgence of the MMO that is the predominant MMO that we all play, and it's also good, and it's also visually good, and there's BOOBA, and it's fun, and it's gonna be good. There will be the point where we do have the Ready Player One, we do have the Sword Art Online. It's gonna happen. Please.
Imagine if it's like the 3D full dive MMO, but it's like Maple Story 4.
Dude, I'd be worried because there's no Maple Story 3.
Yeah.
Maple Story 2 was, do you know, but it was just like the most abysmal failure.
Really yeah. Like for me, my Maple Story was Ragnarok Online, and Ragnarok Online 2, I played it. It was not good. It was pretty bad. Pretty
Ragnarok on. Did you ever play I can't remember the name of it.
What?
I think I'm thinking of Fliff? Fly for Fun?
Fly for Fun?
I was a big like on I mean I was a kid, right? So it's just these Asian free to play MMOs. There's like this whole bunch of them, right? It's like Maple Story, Fliff.
Okay.
What others have I played? 2 Moons?
2 Moons?
Anyone ever heard? I feel like I've asked this before. Anyone ever heard of an MMO called 2 Moons? Terra Online was also a great... Yeah, Mab and Nagi. Well, that was next on. Terra Online, I feel, was really good. I'm really sad about that one. Yeah, Terra Online was good. I have talked to some friends, including Doc. Doc's never played this game. A renaissance might be upon us where I'm playing Black Desert Online again. Have you ever played Black Desert?
There's like a lot, like they're like basically naked, right, with like big titties hanging out. Is that the
one, the only?
The one, the only? Yeah.
The one, the only.
I'm like, I could be convinced to try it out.
Oh, you've never tried?
I've never played it.
It actually, I feel it's worth trying. Because it's so different. I mean, not so different, but I like it. First of all, it's a eternal grind. So I don't know. You were just saying about how you didn't like that. It's like you could grind your whole life and not max out.
Yeah.
But I kind of want that.
Yeah. I do miss that.
There's like, it's not. See, and this is like a kind of weird thing to want in MMO. One of the main reasons I did not like Final Fantasy. Have you played Final Fantasy, the MMO? Critically acclaimed?
Which one? 14?
MMO, yeah.
Bro, I was
not the fucking dog shit one.
No. I played.
What is that one? Like, 11 or 10? I don't.
No. I played 11, and I was an alpha tester, beta tester, launch player with a special edition, collector's edition box of Final Fantasy 14.
I
was like OG.
Wait, so you played?
I was like balls deep in the freaking forums, the feedback forums during the alpha and the beta, and I was in the trenches. I was like, hey, you guys need to fix this and this and this. And they're like, and Tanaka was like, it'll be perfect. It'll be beautiful when it launches. And it launched, and it was horrifyingly bad. It was really bad. I have the...
What was bad? Like, what exact... like, is it... Yeah, what was bad?
How do I describe, like, what made it, like, so bad?
Was it, like, boring? Or, like, did it not scale well? Like, your time? Like, what exactly was, like...
you didn't
How
like
do
about
I
it?
even how do I even describe it? Let me think.
So that's a big comeback story then, huh?
It was a huge comeback story, yeah. Like okay, all right. I would say the number one issue, like the number one issue with the game. No, the auction house is like secondary. The number one issue with the game is that game. In order to do the most mundane task, you had to go through like 8 sub menus. It was like ridiculous. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Like
UI?
in order to like map your keys so that like they had hotkeys so you could do like 1 2 3 4 5 like to cast your abilities. But imagine where you're like trying to like map your hotkeys, right? Normally it's just like you got like a page that's got all of your spells and abilities and you just drag and drop, right? You couldn't drag and drop. It was like the mapping was like draconian. And you had to go through like a gajillion sub menus. If you wanted to use a potion like in combat to like heal yourself, another like 3, maybe 4 sub menus. And then after you like navigated the sub menus, there was like are you sure you want to drink this potion? Yes, no. And you had to hit yes, right? And it's like,
okay, well, so the question is, have you tried it in its newer state?
I did.
And you didn't like it, or at least not enough to like play it more.
No. I loved it. I honestly think that it's probably the best modern MMO right now. It's like way better than World of Warcraft. It's like not even close, right? But there's like the trauma, like the residual trauma of being like, I am not the smartest guy. I get duped a lot, right? But like it stings extra hard.
It is like a fool me once situation. Fool me
I don't
twice.
like being fooled. Yeah, I don't like being fooled. And so like I will never forgive them for doing that to me.
what I don't like about Final Fantasy, and I guess I feel people are gonna be like, then why do you want to play MMO? I didn't like how focused it was on party play.
You like to be like a solo player?
I like I like to be
like
able
a
to.
beater?
Yeah, I'm a Kirito. Like, yeah. I mean, I want to be able to play with my friends if I'd like to, if we want to. Like, oh, let's queue up this dungeon. But it was so focused on raiding and party play and dungeon with your friends that I felt like I couldn't play by myself. In fact, the reason why I quit was because I reached a point in the story where I had to do a dungeon. And I just couldn't queue up to find a party. It just would not queue me up. And I closed it and never booted it up ever again. That was the last time I played it. I just, the big raids, I have a friend, she plays Final Fantasy a lot, and she's doing raids weekly and goes to like that big Final Fantasy convention and everything. These big giant raids where it takes like people are fighting to be the first ones to complete it, and it takes like practice and stuff, and you can't see what's going on the screen. It looks like you're playing a rhythm game. Almost. I don't like that at all. In fact, I would go as far to say, like, I dislike that. I don't like that. It just seems, but in Black Desert Online, it's just like, oh, well, you just grind endlessly by yourself, and you walk from town to town, and you make trade routes and stuff. So I like being more solo. So that's why I didn't like Final Fantasy.
I think that's very valid, but I also think that type of MMO player, no offense, is definitely not going to be the MMO player that puts like 8 years into like one IP, right? Like that's the type of MMO player where like a new MMO comes out and you like the solo grind because like it's like a ordered repetitive task and like it gives you like progress, right? Like it like gives you like a set amount of progress and you play it, and then so you'll play that game for probably about 6 months. Maybe you'll put in like a couple $100 into the cash shop, but then you'll move on to the next MMO, right?
True.
And I think Final Fantasy XIV, this is what I'll give to like Square Enix, right? They were trying to build an MMO where like they basically suck you in and like you will never leave. And in order to do that, like you need to be a part of a community, right? Because it's just like you don't want to let down your crew. Like you need to, I think to an extent like streaming is like that too. Like when you're in a streamer's community, like like you have a place that you feel like you can belong, and that's like a freaking, it's a feature of like the human brain. Humans like are very social and they like to belong. They like that community, and I think Final Fantasy XIV is probably the best like community building MMO, and it's because you have to like
That makes sense because when I talk to my friend and like she's like deep into it.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like whenever I talked about it, I'm like, it sounds like you're describing your fucking job.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to. I guess it's true. I want a more casual experience.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I also think that like that type of MMO developer is going to be expecting like the shelf life of the MMO to be like 2 years tops.
No. Riot's making an MMO. Will you play that?
Probably not. I don't think.
Are you like pretty much you giving up on the MMO?
What type of MMO would I play?
The thing is, it's like it's not the wrong move to give up because being an MMO like person, that just seems like suffering. The betrayal, the constant betrayal, constant letdown. Because I'm looking for a more casual experience, but I was pretty deep into like I would consider like my ideal game and like the games I have enjoyed most in life have been MMOs.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like
then I think we have something in common because I do think that I was like an MMO addict
like
for the longest time.
Yes, those are the only games I've ever like. It's only in my adult life, like currently, most recently, that I haven't really been on an MMO grind just because all my favorite MMOs, Terra's like shut down, you can't even play it, and they're dead. But like Fantasy Star Universe, I was just every day after school, right, until I fell asleep.
Yeah,
I was I know that Fantasy like. PSO, yeah, and then
PSO online, and then Universe is the newer one.
Yeah,
right?
The new one. This is what I'm talking about. It's just fucking letdown after letdown. But anyways, Fantasy Star.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Like, what is the MMO that you spent the most amount of time, not hours in the game, like years of your life? You know, like it doesn't matter if you're only playing it like 2 hours a day. I'm talking about like it's your MMO, your main MMO for a year, 2 years, 3 years that you've spent the most amount of time.
Like, you mean the MMO I was most consecutively playing?
Yeah, like because you know if you're an MMO hound, you've got the main MMO. Right? Like, what have you spent the most?
So, the biggest chunk I think is probably Maple Story. And what I consider like the golden
How many years?
age of Maple Story. I must have played that for maybe a little bit of middle school, or like all of middle school, and then a little bit of high school. So that might have been like 6 years. 7 years.
That's pretty good.
And then on and off once it started to like fall apart. And I think you're right about community, because when I point to why people that like to play Maple Story and don't anymore, or like they keep trying to play it, it was a loss of sense of like community. Like like even though you weren't friends or talking or interacting with people, you just like the fact that there were people around, they were talking, they were doing stuff. They were on the maps, and now it's just dead, and it's just the sweaties operating on like Hellfire Island, killing the 2,000 demon boss, right? Like that loss was. So critical. I would say, but he's a qualifier. It's Maple Story on a technicality. Fantasy Star, I would go to say that was like my main MMO. The only reason I stopped was because it was like I played on the Xbox, and eventually it like the Xbox stopped. People stopped playing the Xbox, and we just moved on. And so I think like that one I stopped playing because other people stopped playing, as opposed to like Maple Story. When I stopped, it was just kind of like, I don't know, I got busy, or where I just stopped playing. But Fantasy Star, I would say, is my main one, because even though I might have spent more time on Maple Story, when I think of how you just described MMOs, and when I think about MMOs like stereotypically now, like the sweaty gamer experience, it's like I think of my time playing Fantasy Star, because that's when I was like logging on, and the main thing is talking and booting up with people I did not know in real life. And Fantasy Star is the only experience where I've had that. It's like, Maple Story or Terra Online, I might have interacted with random people, but it was never like, boop, time to log on. Little Asian boy lover is on. Let me invite him to my party, see if he wants to talk. And I don't know
don't invite him to your party.
who they are, whatever. I remember this one guy, he was a cast, he was like an elf, and he had a big rainbow afro. And like, and I would have like, I'd stay up late at night talking to like these people on Fantasy Star that I didn't even know.
Look.
And
Don't listen.
and I'd queue up with them, and I'd be trying to get like, and the thing with me again, like I said, I've never been like a big raid person, but Fantasy Star was one of the games where like we try to run a thing, and I would be looking for that drop, which again, right, is very MMO-y, and Fantasy Star was really the only game that would do that. Or maybe I was looking for money, but whatever. It was just like kind of that mindset. Whereas Maple Story, I'm just kind of playing. It's more like a fidget spinner of a game where I was just kind of like being like, jumping around. Like, so definitely Fantasy Star. And the second one, or the newer one that came out, I was so excited that I was playing on like the Japanese servers and stuff, and looking up guides and translations and stuff, and then it launched, and it was just one of the biggest letdowns. The game itself was good, but just the way it was handled and stuff, and the localization. I mean, I should give him credit for trying to even like, because it ended, and that's right, it shut down in Japan, and I was like, well, there goes that. And I was like, here's a second chance, but that fell through. And
you got to feel for like people that develop MMOs, right? Because the critical element of their MMO is completely out of their control, right?
Right.
Like, how do you like, you could have the best graphics to get the best gameplay, but then like the critical element is the community. And like, what if like a MMO that's got like more hype, like just through like luck or whatever comes out, and like you just never build that community required, and you've got like a 10 out of 10 MMO, and it's just like dies. It's like stillborn. It sucks. It's like kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, could probably say it's sad I dropped Genshin before getting into like beyond what is considered to be like the beginner, like nascent stages of it. For me, it's like recently, and I talked to Blake. You remember Blake about this recently?
Love the guy. Yeah.
Like, I don't enjoy video games anymore. That's like a deceptive thing to say. Like, I will play games on stream, and I enjoy it. And when I'm playing it, I will enjoy it, and I'll enjoy the experience.
Okay.
But there is this sort of way you play games, like casually. That I am unable to casually enjoy a game anymore, because I'm thinking of like, oh, I could be streaming this. Or like I feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't enjoy playing Genshin, but it's like, I'm not gonna play it in my off time, because I just don't play games in my off time. Or I stream it, but I'm not streaming it because it's time for a different stream concept or a different stream, or like I'm doing a collab. So at the end of it, I don't play it. But that's with every game. There's a period where, if you remember, I got this like controller to play, chat. Like I was like, I'm gonna game again. I got this controller. I fucking used this shit twice. I just got a new controller. It's like an Xbox Elite Series 2, which is a great controller, by the way. It's really nice. It feels good. It's got good shape because the Xbox 360 is the best shape for a controller, period. And it's very similar to it. And it's got paddles on the back. But I just,
Outer
have
Wilds.
Outer Wilds. That's right.
Play Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
That's the perfect controller to play Outer Wilds with.
Yeah. Okay.
Outer Wilds is better with the controller. I played it with a keyboard and mouse, and that was like not a good idea.
Well, what's weird is I think this is what I was saying earlier when I said I talked to Blake. Streaming has ruined games for me. And
that's a lot of people say that, right?
Yes, because it's not I think what people would first assume is like, oh well, because I could be making money. It's like a business thing, but it's more than that. It's because I mean, yes, that's true to an extent, but when I say streaming has ruined games for me, it's because like, I mean, I would say you're kind of introverted or like kind of inward a little more than me, at least compared to me.
Introverted. You're an extrovert. Right. I would classify you as like...
Yeah, I would say I'm extroverted. But I think all content creators, even if they're introverted, they have this kind of like social kind of fire spirit to them. Right, because and so streaming, when I say it's ruined games for me, it's because I get into this social kind of interaction with you guys. It's part performance, part entertainment, but also part like just socializing, right?
Yeah.
And when I play by myself, it is so boring because I don't have that room of people enjoying this experience with me, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of empty. It's very lonely, and I don't enjoy it. Because it's fun to just do things together, which I guess it's most base, like that makes sense, like at a base level when you say that, because if you're like you want to playing a game, like, you know, I'd always prefer to have my friends come over and we play co-op on like the GameCube than just playing by myself, right?
Right.
But yeah, I just can't like be like because I know like quote unquote normie friends, right? Where they're like, yes, I'm a full stack developer and I rock climb and I go home and play World of Warcraft for 17 hours. I just can't imagine doing that, like winding down and booting up a game. And I've tried recently. I've been trying to go through some games. I re-downloaded The Witcher 3, tried that, couldn't do it. Tried to do Elden Ring.
Were you trying the Sonic game? Like, you used to be a single player gamer. Like, you could do that. You could play like Viva Pinata, right? Was Viva Pinata single player? I don't know.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I just kind of lost the desire. Not desire, but it's just boring. Or not boring. It's more like, it's not that it's boring, but it makes me more. I'll be more conscious and be like, oh, I'm lonely right now. I wish there was other people here. I wish I was streaming this. I wish I was with chat. I give up. I lose interest and I turn it off. Quit.
I mean, like, what's to stop you from just going live, right?
Yeah, no, true. But then, you know, it's just, and then I'm like, well, I could stream this instead. Mm-hmm. Or I did a stream already, or I don't know what excuse I come up with, but you know, just
that's understandable.
Yeah, I don't. Have you ever played Viva? Probably not. It's an Xbox game. Viva Pinata is one of my favorite games ever, and I would love to stream it, but I would have to probably emulate it. I mean, play it totally legitimately.
I mean, if you already own the game, right? If you already own it.
Exactly.
If you already own it. It's just a little bit of extra steps that you have to take on your own, and you've already given the company that developed it like their pound of flesh, so to speak.
True.
So there you go. Yeah.
I have a story. I bought the Xbox One to play Halo 5, or maybe it was Halo 4, whichever dog shit fucking bullshit they fucking spat out at the time. But me and my friend Doc, you know Doc, we bought this a while ago. We bought Xbox One specifically to play. It's the one with Agent Locke. It might have been Guardians. It was so fucking dog shit. We finished the story mode and we were like flabbergasted at how bad it was.
Okay.
Flabbergasted how bad it was. We were so disheartened that we ended up going, let's just play fucking Viva Pinata instead. But
you guys are like demoralized.
But Viva Pinata wasn't available on that platform. You had to buy the rare bundle pack. It had like Banjo-Kazooie and all that. So we ended up paying like $35 or $40 just to play Viva Pinata on the Xbox One, because we were like sunken costs. We were like, we just bought these fucking Xbox Ones just to play Halo 5, and it was ass. So we played Viva Pinata on the rare bundle pack on the Xbox Ones, and then we both ended up selling our Xbox Ones because there's no games worth playing on that.
That's so sad.
It's really sad, isn't it?
I can't even make it into a bit. That's just so like, how much did it cost for the Xbone? Like
$400 at that time, maybe 500.
Think about how many Pokemon cards you could have bought with that.
Oh,
I want to play Pokemon TCG with you because you have like a good jillion cards.
I was thinking about maybe not Pokemon, but dude, you know what we should do? We should play Yugioh, like the online Yugioh.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun to do. I like Yugioh, but I'm no fucking. I rage quit. I actually uninstalled it because it made me so viscerally angry when I played that Master Duel Link, whatever game.
I would only be able to play like the old school one, like none of the new shit. I'm not interested in like learning how to play the game.
Well, I have a funny story about what you're referring to is the fact that like as time goes on, these cards get so convoluted. They introduce new archetypes of cards, and the descriptions and the qualifiers become more and more.
Bro, the field, the playmat field, it looks like a fucking like the panel of like a freaking nuclear reactor, and it's just like oh shit. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I have a hilarious story about this. Like, my friend was super into Yu-Gi-Oh. Right. Okay. really into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I had played and collected when I was a kid, but I had not played. And so I went over, and he had like spare cards, like kind of like Magic, you know. I just built like a random deck out of like these spare cards. But he's like all into it. He has like his meta deck, and we played. Like his deck was like so convoluted and so complicated, and the qualifiers and prerequisites were so powerful that I beat him just because my cards were so like dumb. Because like the old meta of Yu-Gi-Oh is just like 7-colored fish is a 4-star monster with 2,500 defense points. You know, it's just like it was just so basic. And the newfound Yu-Gi-Oh is just like it has 20 hit points, but if the sun is directly 45 degrees, you know, and he just like couldn't get it to work. So I would just spawn these like low level but chunky like monsters, and I just like beat him because he could not whittle away against these like. The Mystic Elf has 2,000 defense points.
The
like,
mystical elf.
It does nothing, but it has 2,000. You know, so that's just like.
Did you ever watch Hikaru no Go? It's an anime about
little black and white little. They look like Skittles.
Little pieces.
I'm not like I don't know the story plot, but I remember like reading it in Shonen Jump actually.
Yeah, that totally reminds me of like there's like a chapter, a battle arc in Hikaru no Go where like. One of the characters who's like a phenomenal Go player, like he's basically pro level as like a middle school student, goes into the middle school's like Go club and he's just fucking destroying them, right? But then the upperclassmen are like trying to like haze him, right? So he's like, you have to clean up our like club room. You're not allowed to look at the board, and you have to play 3 of us at the same time. And he has to like call the number, like, you know, the chess notation, like, so he can't look at the board.
Oh, okay, like
he's playing
G4.
3 people at once.
I see.
Yeah, and he's like playing 3 people, right? And so like, it's 2 of the upperclassmen and like a fucking newbie, like a first year that doesn't know anything about Go, right? And so this kid is like cleaning up the club room, and he's playing, and he's fucking schooling. He's schooling the ever-loving shit out of the 2 like third years, the upperclassmen, because like he's phenomenal. He's like basically pro tier, right? But he starts losing against the kid because the kid is randomly placing like shit on the board because he doesn't understand the game, and the phenomenal pro tier player, like he just can't keep track of the board because he's like, I don't know like why you would ever put a piece there, right? So the key, like the best moment of that where he's like, give me like D18, right? And then the kid goes to put his piece on, and his piece is already there. And he's like, I already put a piece there. He's like, what? And then he's like, oh yeah. So you were literally that kid. This is like a roundabout thing. Like you're like the idiot kid, and this dude, your friend, probably has like an $800 deck that's designed to counter like the meta of like slivers or some shit like that, right? And surprise, surprise, you ain't got no fucking slivers. You just have like the summon skull. You just deal 2,500 damage directly. You know, like it's just like, I don't know, like none of my cards will activate because like you just.
That makes me think of like chess and like poker. Have you ever played chess like on chess.com? Do you know how to play chess? Like
I do not know how to play chess.
Really? No, but you know how to like play chess, but you never played chess?
I was trying to impress somebody that I knew only online.
Okay.
This is an embarrassing fucking story. This is when I was like in high school, and there was somebody that I knew online that I was trying to impress, right?
Okay.
And that person was very good at chess, right? This like is like me to a T. I cheated to try to impress them. What I did, and this was before like they had like AI chess, they're like AlphaGo or some shit like that, right? Like I had a friend whose father was like a ranked chess player. He's like pretty high ranked. I don't know like what it is, but like he's basically like a pro tier chess player, right? And so I brought my dinky, gigantic, chunky laptop. I remember, like, it's just a piece of shit. Like, it's spewing, like, microplastics into my face. And then I played against my online friend, and the dude was like, I remember the dad was like, wait. This is not, like, this is not like ranked, right? And it's like, no, of course not, right? It's like, okay, like you're playing against a kid, and it's like, yeah. It's like you want to beat them, and it's like, yeah. It's like that's kind of fucked up. And he's like, I just want you to know that like this is kind of fucked up. Like, are you sure? And it's like, guys, yeah, I understand like the ethical like quandary of this. Like, could you just help me out here, right? Like, I'm trying to get like a titty pic out of it, like, so like I fucking destroyed this person. It was like really, it was not close. Like that person got like fucking destroyed, and the person.
Oh, you didn't even try to make it seem. It was just like, oh, you're a professional chess player, huh?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Apparently, when you get to a level in chess, like you can get a vague idea. It's like a fucking like Dragon Ball Z Power Scouter, right? And this person was like, either you're like, like tier 2, like which is like just short of being like, like on televised chess, like tier 2 versus tier, like either you're like rank, I don't know, there's like a score, right? Like you're like either like 1500 plus, or like what the fuck is going on? Like how are you this good, right?
Dude, we should play chess sometimes.
Never talk to them again.
Dude, we should play chess sometimes. You want to see like the angriest chat could possibly ever like reasonably get? Realistically, is you and I could play chess against each other. They would need to invent new words.
Let's do it. I thought that it would be really funny if. Do you remember in Hunter x Hunter Gungi?
Yeah.
If we started playing, like, if we like made our own like Twitch category, it's like Gungi, and we're playing Gungi.
Oh, we just make up a game and it starts to like catch on.
Yeah. Or it could just be like entirely scripted, right? Like.
Actually, we talked about that. Not to go on like too much of a tangent here, but we talked about like making a game, like not a video game, but like some kind of card system game.
Oh yeah.
Which that would be real fun. And then we talk like from there. We talk about it. It's like months, years. We keep talking about this game concept, and then we finally release it. And you guys like go to buy it, and it's just like. You like fuck each other or something. It's like so like just here's the pussy card, like fuck the pussy.
The meta has shifted dramatically since like we were developing.
There's also Blue Eyes White Dragon for some reason. Okay, what did you think about? Did you watch when I showed the lecture?
I did.
Were you there?
What
did you think about my theory that like this fixation on like baby girls, girl failures, basically this archetype of fictional character?
Yeah.
Sometimes they project it on a real person.
Busted out the UN graph on like what is it like the fertility rate
and
of the world or some shit like that?
You see this, right? They're like, ooh, so like this babying of grown adults, and I think it stems from like this biological like trigger to be like a caretaking, like if you're what I assume is like a normal person. I know there's like asexual people, whatever, but like most people you're like hardwired to like breed and be a caretaker, be a parent, and this is like this is like because I mean there's a lot of reasons, economic, cultural, but we are not having kids. We're kind of pushing that desire down, or rather instinct, and so it is sort of like presenting itself in this kind of displacement of that caretaking like desire, and also maybe because you're trying to like make sense of it, or your body is, or your mind is at the very least, and it crosses with like, oh, I'm attracted to this character, I want to like fuck it, because it's just kind of like trying to push its way out, and you're kind of getting like confused, or trying to at least process it. What do you think about that theorem?
I think you're definitely onto something there. I think I mean, people that get into a character or like a personality that they want to support, you could basically like divide it into like two camps, right? Like you're either a sub or a dom, right?
Okay.
And if you're a sub, you want like a leader, someone that's like good, right? And like they don't need a personality, they don't need whatever, they just need to be the best at something. And you're like, I have attached myself to this person that is like the world's best in XYZ. and I'm their fan and I will follow them. And the other end is like if you're a dom, right? Like I need a helpless idiot. I need a Nintendo. I need like a human Tamagotchi for me to like hydrate, and it's like, hey, here's a treat. You did your best today, you know? And I think you and I definitely, you know, we're you know, they're not following us because we're the best in the world at something, if you know what I'm talking about.
I've never felt, by the way, I've conceptually known about this phenomenon, these characters, but I myself have never been personally attracted to any of these until I watched The Amazing Digital Circus.
Pomni.
And I don't know what it is, but it would be the first example of a fictional character getting a restraining order on me. I don't understand it, and I don't know why. That's why I made this video, because I was like, I finally get it.
Well, I want to look at Pomni. I watched The Amazing Digital Circus on your recommendation and Luna's recommendation, and I thought it was insanely good for like essentially like an indie work, right?
Doesn't Pomni sound like Girl DM?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's look at the character. Hold
on.
It's just good character design, right?
Yes,
I would put this at like Sonic, like classic Sonic tier. I mean, have we talked about this before? Like, you're the artist, so like you know like what aesthetically like looks good. I think Sonic is superior to Mario is like a character. Right?
Yes, agreed.
I think Pomni is like a Sonic, like an old school Sonic tier like character design. It's like 10 out of 10, like a perfect. I think like you want to hump the fuck out of this character because like it looks like a Sonic character.
You know what? Valid.
It's good. It's like a 10 out of 10 design. You're looking at it. It's got like the three primary colors. Like it's got just the right amount of roundness.
It's got the hedgehog spikes.
It's got the hedgehog spike. It's got the hedgehog gloves, and the like. Even her fucking shoes look like a Sonic shoe.
You know,
right?
okay. I've also been meaning to make a video about this as well. Why does Sonic the Hedgehog lend itself to so much fetish porn? Sonic Chew. There's something about. Anyways, listen to this, guys. So this is. I'm just gonna pick a random. So this is. Let's see. This is Girl DM.
This person would keep coming back and ask questions.
She gonna be okay with this?
Say something.
Me?
No.
I will roast you over the coals if I don't.
Okay, and then this is Ragatha from The Amazing Digital Circus.
Well, listen, I know we didn't always get along, like when you called me out for fake laughing at your jokes. I swear I really did think they were funny.
That sounds like Girl DM. They literally sound the same. Don't they sound the same? Right? I don't know why it was like instant. I remember the first time I watched it, it's instantly I was like, oh, that sounds like Girl DM. It's so weird.
I've heard that like people that like live by their voice, right? So it's like you're I think if you do voiceover, if you do streaming, you are an artist, and like your tool, your main tool is your voice. So I've heard a lot of people in the same way that like a digital like an artist that draws doesn't like having their art compared to the style of another person, doesn't like a voiceover artist will not like having their voice compared to like another person. So like for me,
I get that.
I respect that, yeah.
But
I mean, look at this.
She fucking really sounds like her, man.
I think if we were to give our friend a leg up, you know, we could modify the Germa plan, get rid of the VA that does regular, and then be like, hey, like, you know, I know you guys are on a deadline and you need to do like episode 2 and 3. Can I, you know, nobody will notice if you use, you know, like, I'm sure her rates are competitive because she's not.
Well, I don't know. I think. Well, okay. I was actually before I forget. I wanted to ask you on that note. Have you ever? What character do you sound like, or person? Not an impression, but have you ever been told you sound like this character, like naturally, or this
person? Or chat, maybe you can even say, what does Randon sound like? Because, so for me, I was told recently by a friend that I sound like, I'm familiar with the series, but I don't know. It's the gumball guy from the regular show. What's he called? My friend said, you sound just like the what's his name?
What's his fucking name?
Benson?
Benson? That doesn't sound right.
He's like the gumball guy.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
And the thing, I don't want to I've put off like watching it because I don't want to start to like play into it. But like, chat, give me something like Benson would say, and then I'm gonna do it, and you can tell me how much I sound like him, and then I'm going to go watch a clip right now afterwards.
Oh yeah, do it.
So before I actually know what he sounds like, he's like their boss, right? Okay, you're fired, but that's like too short. I need like a longer sentence. Okay, you're fired. How would I say that? I would just say, you're fired. Get back to work. Mordecai and Rigby, you two better get back to work. I don't know. Is that what he sounds like? Get back to work or you're fired. See, I don't know. How would I actually say it? Like actually yell it with anger? Get back to work or you're fired.
It's pretty good.
Mordecai and Rigby, get back to work or you're fired.
Pretty good.
Okay, so okay. So let me look this guy up. Benson? What's the regular show? Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
I mean, I don't know if I can find him saying like that, but okay, it's like an intro.
Admit you're cool is the day I give you back the cart.
But we are cool.
No, you're not.
Okay, how about this? If we can get you
The bottom of this. You've ruined karaoke night.
Okay, I kind of hear it a little bit.
With me and you two idiots. If this isn't cleaned up when I get back, you're fired.
I think you're further away from Benson than Luna is to.
Yeah, yeah. It's only when he's
yeah.
yelling.
Yeah.
It's only when he's yelling, but I hear it when he yells. Yeah. That's funny. I was like, the gumball guy from the. Yeah, I think I remember. Okay.
I don't think I've ever been compared to anyone, but
well, you have a very distinct voice. I've been told that I have a pleasantly everyman voice. Like I don't really stand out. No, that's
I'm just
not
like
true.
a dude. I'm just like a dude, but like it's like a decent, you know.
No, that's not true. You have a very distinct voice.
Maybe, I don't know. I do scream like Homer Simpson. That's true. I don't
scream like Homer Simpson.
I don't scream like Goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think well, cuz I mean, what impressions do you do? Cuz I feel like I'm always doing impressions, but
oh yeah, I love impressions. Yeah.
What's your go-to impression?
I've been doing like a creepy Ojo-sama voice, like a laugh. And originally I was trying to do like you know, in Star Wars, like Jaba the Hutt's got like a little rat thing.
Yes. Mikolo Nakanala Han Solo.
Muki do Solo. And then he's got the little rat thing. It's like
I haven't done it in a while, but my longest running bit with one of my old friends was that we were Jabas, because everything that like we do in life is like gluttonous and like and we want like greed, money, food, girls, and so we were the two Jabas. That's why on this hat I have a little Jaba the Hutt pin. It says "I love Jaba," and we got matching ones.
What?
And it was funny because our inside joke was that I was like, we were like two Jabas that were always competing to be the better Jaba, but we were like, one person is Jaba B, and the other one is Jaba 2. So no one is even Jaba 8 or Jaba 1. We're both secondary, but we're still fighting over. And we would do that whenever we go out to eat and we get like a big meal. We would sit there and we would go like this, and then we would like eat, and then we were the Jabas. Yeah.
If you did that, if you did that, my brother was there, like he would legitimately look at you and like think that you were speaking a real like human language. And he wouldn't judge you for it. He would just in his mind be like, "Oh, they're speaking something."
Well, I don't know. He would lean towards you and be like, "I didn't know your friend was Vietnamese or something." I had a roommate that was Vietnamese. You should have told me.
It's pretty good. Now I'm falling down the rabbit hole of like borderline NSFW Pomni pictures, and it's like,
dude, I saw Pomni porn before I even knew like what the Amazing Digital Circus was.
It's pretty
True.
good. It's pretty good. Do you think it's the voice? I think they like spot on.
I think part of
like,
it is like,
voice.
yeah, this voice fits perfectly. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about it. It is Sonic-esque now that you mention it.
Yeah.
In terms of the simplicity.
And can you think of a Sonic character that fits the fail, what is it called? Failure.
Ooh. Girl failure?
Girl failure, like archetype. Is there a Sonic character that like fits that?
I mean, not Dr. Eggman. Okay, listen, I might be exaggerating my sexual attraction to Pomni, but I did feel that sort of like, oh, I like this character. It's endearing. I feel like I am attracted to this character.
Yeah.
I mean, my baseline is like, oh yeah, I would fuck this character, but like that's like my baseline, you know. So like, not necessarily like, oh yeah, because I mean, I'd fuck the like. There's a character that's just like a piece of like ribbon, like I'd fuck that character. So it's not even like that. But
would you like wrap it around the shaft? Like what is this? What's the
And then like pull it, and then it unwraps, and then my dick flies off like a spinning flower.
Oh, it's like a Beyblade. It turns your dick into a Beyblade, and like it drops into an arena, and it's got the weight to it, right? So like some stupid 7-year-old kid's Beyblade would just like fucking fly out of the ring, because like
it's like, you know,
about,
these
like,
little flower toys. You go like you
right?
take your palms and you go like that, and it flies and it floats. Like that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Anyways. Maybe we should end the stream. It's been
it's pretty good.
It's been a while. Yeah, we've been going, and we weren't even playing anything. But
it's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for chatting with me. D&D next week.
Roll. Yeah, D&D possibly next week on Saturday, but maybe not. I don't know. It depends on whether I can finish everything on time.
Okay, tentatively Saturday. Next Saturday.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yep,
I will see if I
buddy.
can't raid someone.
Who you gonna raid?
Ooh, let's find out. Hmm?
Do you remember we did a bit? There's like a VTuber that I thought was like really entertaining, and she's like super nice. She doesn't really curse that much. And then we're like, what if she's like a little bit racist?
I don't remember this.
You like
I
that?
genuinely do not remember this. I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it Koragi?
Yeah, it was that one.
I see their stream right here, and I was like, that sounds right. But
Who else is good? Do you know Bat Moriko?
dude, you know so many VTubers.
Bat
No.
at video games is pretty good. That's a good one too. she can be a little crazy though. She got banned for like I think she did like ASCI art of like a dick, and she got banned.
I see. Okay, listen.
She's back.
I think I interacted with this person very recently, so we're gonna raid this VTuber. Speaking of BOOBA.
Speaking of BOOBA, raid them and I'll follow. Somebody that I've never heard of.
They're a new VTuber called Poseidon.
Poseidon?
And
Ice Poseidon?
we interacted very briefly, so I'm like, okay, I see them live right now. And they got BOOBA.
Bro, Ice Poseidon.
June,
is
do
a
not watch
freaking
this
VTuber
VOD, no
now?
matter what you do. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Yep, I will not be live tomorrow. Or probably Sunday. Maybe Sunday. So maybe Monday for me. What about you? You going live tomorrow?
Alright, so like I've been like really like not consistent. So I didn't want to do D&D this week because I wanted to do like a full week. So I'm streaming tomorrow, I'm streaming Sunday. And if I can do that, then like I'm back on track and I'm not missing a day. I was missing like 2 days every week for like 3 straight weeks just because I had the ear infection. So I'm streaming tomorrow, I'm streaming the day after. Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Actually, I will be live on Sunday. I'll be live on Sunday,
Let's
guys.
go.
Alright, thanks. That was a really fun one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let me start the raid first. Okay.
Oh yeah. Poseidon Mythos. Oh, this is not Ice Poseidon. Whoops.
Okay. All right, we're setting you over. I'm gonna do the raid now. And all right, bye everyone. Yes, I would fuck Pomni, Randon. To tell you the truth.